Welcome to the Next Dimension Podcast, your portal to an extended reality. Every week we talk about the hottest topics in XR and let you join the discussion live on MRTV. And now, get ready for another exciting episode coming up.
Hi and welcome to episode number 24 of the Next Dimension podcast. This is the season final of season 1 of this podcast, and this podcast is all about VR and AR. Today here with me are Tetiana, sorry, I was a moment. Tetiana, of course, from Disco VR. Tetiana, how are you doing? Okay, I don't hear you now. Oh my God, what is going on? Oh,
I'm sorry. Hey, I'm back. Hey, y'all. Yes, I'm doing great. Thank you. I'm excited about the season finale. Hope everybody's doing great.
great. Really looking forward to speak with you about all the interesting topics that we're going to talk about today. And of course, also with me here, Anthony. Anthony from, I know I want to say Disco 364. This is crazy. What is going on?
Discombobulated is the word.
Really, what is going on in the season final? I have no idea. Anthony
forgot everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Anthony of VR 365, of course. Anthony, great to talk. Great to talk to you again. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. And I just have a quick question though. Have you ever been in the middle of like an interview or a podcast and you legitimately like totally forgot somebody's name for some weird reason? Like their name, but like it just like you're like, wait a minute, I don't know this guy's name. I don't know this guy's name. Oh my God, I've been in that panic before.
Yeah, right.
Terrible. It happens more often than
It
than
does
should.
happen. It does happen.
Yeah.
And well, especially in live shows like this, it's hard to overplay it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, anyways. Yeah, it's a season final. We can just have some fun and something like this will happen sometimes. That's also the charm of doing a live show. Yeah, great. And well, I'm Sebastian Ang. I'm the founder of MRTV. Yeah, didn't forget yet the name of my own channel. And I'm the host of this podcast. So for all of you who don't know yet about the Next Dimension podcast, this podcast is live streamed every Saturday at 9 p.m. Berlin time, 8 p.m. London, noon in San Francisco, and 3 p.m. in New York City. And you can find us on all the podcast providers, on iTunes, Spotify, Google, Alexa, and wherever there are podcasts. So you can also listen to us, and you should do so, because it's a really good podcast, I think. All right, we're going to ask you about this podcast also later in the show because, we want to do a little reflection and find out what you think about the Next Dimension podcast, about the first season of this podcast. So, if you enjoyed this first season of the Next Dimension podcast, please do us a favor and rate us. Give us 5 stars on iTunes. And the simplest way to do it, get out your iDevice, find the podcast app. It's already pre-installed on your iPhone or iPad. And find the Next Dimension podcast and give us a 5-star review. This is truly the best way how you can say thank you to us. Thanks for us, to be here every Saturday and entertain you a bit with the latest about VR and also AR, probably in the future more. Right now, it's more of a VR show still.
Hey, real quick.
Yeah, of
Wait,
course.
let me interrupt you real quick so
Okay.
you can forget the next thing you want to talk about.
But, you did it already.
No, I wanted to say, the reviews, the iTunes reviews, right? Okay, so back in the days with VR Roundtable, when we did VR Roundtable, we were like one of the very first VR podcasts that were around at the time. And we were in the video game category of iTunes. And I would go to the iTunes video game category. And every once in a blue moon, VR Roundtable would actually be in the top 100. We would be like number 73 or number 74 or something like that. So I went and looked for Next Dimension podcast to see if, hey, maybe we popped into the top 100. And we're not in the video game category. We're in a different category. But the thing that I noticed is we have like 10 reviews. And come on, peeps, you can do a better job than that. I'm going to check it after this show is over, and we need to double those reviews at least. I hope there's
Oh, you're
more than
right.
10 by now. This is about a week ago.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
here's a question for people who
right.
don't have iPhone. Can you vote using your computer, or is it just from iPhone or iPad?
No, you can also install iTunes on your computer, and then you can also vote.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a bit complicated, right? Yeah, but wow, 10 is not good enough. I've been saying this 24 times. Yeah. Or no, actually 48 times because I say it twice every show. So really, I agree. If you enjoyed the first season, absolutely give us a review. If you want a second season, we need at least 20 at the end of the show. Yeah. So that would be really, really good. And do it. It would really help us out. And yeah, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. Because we're not going to see ourselves in the top 100 unless you review us up there, baby. You got to get us into the mix.
No, really. Absolutely. Totally agreed. So if you enjoy this podcast, do this. It's only going to take you a couple of minutes, especially if you have an iDevice. So that would be really good. Yeah. So today's show, we are going to talk about new games, new releases. We're going to talk a bit about the Vive Pro 2 again, because I also want to know about your opinion, because you were not on the show last time, Anthony and Tetiana. So that would be interesting. I will be talking about my experiences here with the little Samurai adapter here, the wireless adapter for the device, how that went. I live streamed it yesterday. My test, or I just tried it out, and yeah, that should be pretty interesting. And yeah, we do have quite a few games to talk about, right? Those new PSVR games that were revealed by Sony, and it's pretty interesting that Sony once in a blue moon comes out with these shows where they reveal new games, new trailers, and that's good because we have something to talk about, because other than that, news-wise, it's a very, very slow time right now with news. It is crazy. So good that we at least have a few games we can talk about. We're going to talk about Fracked, the PSVR game. We're going to talk about a new ninja game, Arashi. We're going to talk about like a bullet hell shooter, Yuki. We're going to talk about Sniper Elite. We're going to talk about After the Fall. We're going to talk about a game called Winds and Leaves. Leaves, yeah, right. I'm looking forward to talk about this. Actually, I was not so excited to talk about this, honestly, because it's not my type of game. But Anthony, you seem to be kind of interested in it, right?
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about it, of course. But yeah, when you see these new trailers, like a lot of these games, we actually known about them. I think only one of them was completely unknown. But we get these brand new trailers, and the new trailers give us new insight into what the game is all about. Sometimes these new trailers make us even more hyped. Sometimes the new trailers make us less hyped. So, it'll be interesting to talk about it.
Exactly. So that's going to be interesting. Before we do that, first of all, we're going to talk about our weeks or our last weeks. And yeah, I want to ask Tetiana, how are you doing? What did you do in the last couple of weeks since you haven't been on the show?
Oh, I'm doing well. In the past 2 weeks, 2 exciting VR-related things happened to the channel. So the first thing, Disco VR has hit 10,000 subscribers.
Wow, that is amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's so exciting, and I'm very, very happy about it. And we had like a mini party on the Discord, and I'm still planning to have a mini gather up at Rec Room or Alt Space. I'm still trying to schedule it in because, believe it or not, I have never done a live session before on my channel. Never.
You haven't done a live stream?
I've never done a live stream
Wow.
before, and
Okay.
I do want to keep it organized. I want to know what I'm doing. I don't want it to be messy. So I want to learn about it just a little bit more before I can host something like that. But even though it's not going to be immediately after we hit 10,000, I still want to do it. So it's happening.
Wow.
And so that happened. And
that is so amazing. This is incredible, and it's in a short time. I can tell. I think I needed like I don't know years to make 10,000 subscribers.
Yeah. Wait a minute. What was your number before when you first started this show? How many subscribers did you have? Like in the first episode you were here? Because I thought it was like 500 or 1,000 or something, but I don't remember.
It was a little over 1,000, but I'm not sure if it was two. It might have been around 2000. It
Wow,
might have
Wow,
been
that
on
is
that is
that.
some
incredible.
growth.
That is
But
incredible.
I gotta tell you, the VR YouTubers who have started many years ago, they were at the very beginnings, and they didn't get as much credit as they deserved because the technology wasn't there yet. The people weren't as much into it as they are now. They are just
Yeah,
pouring. The new users are just pouring to YouTube.
right.
They're craving for more content, and I think in that sense, I just happen to be in this right
Perfect
place at
time.
the right time.
And you're doing
But
great content. That's the point. It's not just you're in the right place at the right time, you're doing amazing content.
oh, thank you. But you are also doing amazing content, and so many other YouTubers have been for
Right.
years, and they only started really rising up in
Yeah.
the last year, or something like that,
Yeah, it's
right?
true.
So.
It's true.
Mhm.
So,
So I'm not in the first wave. I'm not in the
yeah,
first
right.
wave, but I'm so grateful that I managed to merge into it because I'm so passionate about it, and I'm becoming more and more involved and devoted to this technology. I'm blessed
It's
to be a part of
perfect.
it.
It is really great. Yeah, so I am in this first wave of content creators, and basically it would have been way better if I just started now and did something else in the last 5 years. No, I'm honestly I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I know now is a great time, but I also enjoyed all the basic work that I did with VR. And you know what's great? Like all the connections that I made in the last years, it's incredible. So yeah.
Mm.
But I'm
Yeah.
really happy about your channel and your channel growth. It's truly a great channel. And for all the people who have not yet subscribed to Disco VR, do that now. Yeah, we're going to see Tetiana like overtake me in a moment. In season two, it's going to happen for sure. But that's okay. I'm not, I'm not like feeling bad about these kind of things. I'm happy for you because your channel is really cool.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. And I'm not. I think I find more beginners. I do find a lot of people who just bought Quest watching my content,
Right,
and
right. That makes sense.
my content doesn't have as advanced technology features like hardware, digging deep into hardware kind of stuff
Right,
because
right.
I'm learning about it as I go as well. And yeah, so this is not even close to a competition to your channel.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Yeah, so thank you. And that was the first thing that happened. And the second thing that I thought I would share is that I tried a free roaming location based room scale VR for the very first time.
Oh, wow. I love that. What did you try and where? Tell us everything about it.
Uh, I got invited to a location in Houston, which is a zero latency VR arcade, and they are really big. They have locations in, I think, over 20 different countries. And it's funny because just one guy started this company in a garage. He just put together equipment, and then he added two players there, so they are playing. But he kept adding more, three players and five, and he got back to eight players, and he decided that, oh, maybe nine would be too much. So it's a room scale free roaming VR experience with locally with eight people, maximum eight people. Yeah, that you can play with your friends, and they expanded it to all over the world now. So the game that I was previewing about 3 days before it was launched is Far Cry VR.
Cool. Wow, tell us everything about it. Far Cry
Uh,
VR.
yeah.
How was it?
Uh, Far Cry VR is it. I had a great time, but what is left from Far Cry is mostly the title, maybe the location, and the villain Vass. Because what the game is basically the first person shooter that you are playing with your friends, and you are shooting targets. You're shooting the bad guys. You have two weapons. You have like a gun and a crossbow, but it's a very simplified kind of first person shooter. That's pretty much all you do there.
Mhm.
Most of the fun that comes from playing is your interaction with other people that you're playing with, and the more people you play with, the more fun you have. I played with my husband. There were just the two of us. I still had fun, but there are so many parties of eight that were shooting everywhere and they were yelling and talking to each other and planning the attacks and all of that. So the actual fun comes from being able to physically walk in that space and talk to your friends. It's as a gameplay was very basic. So it's not I if you're there just for Far Cry, I don't think that you would be satisfied with that. But you would want to go there if you want to experience a free roaming gaming experience with your friends.
Hmm.
So I think it's worth for that. There are many companies that organize trips to this kind of VR arcades as a team building exercise and just to have an outing. I think it's great. Um, but I really wish that there was something more for a standalone console that we could play, and it would be actual Far Cry and not just a
Okay, so
mind shooting.
so what kind of technology were they using? What kind of headsets were they using? Did you have like a backpack on, or tell us more about it?
Yes, so they had they were using Reverb G1. They still haven't upgraded to the second one, but they were going to, and I was dang it, I didn't get to it. A little bit too early for that. And they did have a backpack. I forgot what kind of computer they were holding there, but yes, so everything was connected to it. You basically were carrying this computer on you at all time, and that's how they reached the cable-free experience because it is a PC VR, but you don't have to be tethered to anything. And I thought that was really cool. I enjoyed that. And yeah, so you had the headphones, Kraken headphones with a microphone that you could talk to your fellow gamers and to the um, what are they called? Like the game master, so someone who would tell you, "Hey, you're too close to the wall." Or it's funny because when you get too close to the wall, the whole game stops for everyone until you
Oh,
get
really?
back
Oh man.
to keep it
Wow.
safe. So it's like, come on, man, get it back. We can't play if you're being a jackass. So yeah, so they were trying to keep it safe in that way. And you still run into walls. You would think 200 by 400 meters, that's a lot of space, but you still manage to hit walls.
Wow,
And that's
okay.
why at logical times during the game, like after every mini level or something, um, um, there are moments where you have to step into this yellow square, and it's like an elevator in game or some other platform. But basically, that's how they redirect you to the center of the
Hmm.
playground, so that you are always approximately at the center and you're not hitting walls all the time. So that was
Cool.
interesting because seamlessly.
Good idea. Very good idea.
Do
Yeah,
you think it
how
would be better though, if like Space Pirate Arena, for example, like that was just announced that it's like actually going to come this year to the Quest. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be on the official store. I didn't actually read the article, um, but this idea of like you have a certain play space, right? Like whatever meters you were talking about. Why wouldn't they actually just design the game to fit into that
Mhm.
square? And then when you get to a wall, oh, that's a river that you can't cross, or that's
Yeah,
like barbed wire fence or something.
right. Yeah, it's like, what do they call it? The non-Euclidean geometry. Sometimes they use that. So you step on some kind of stones and they're taking you away. So it seems like you're in much larger space than you actually are in the square. And I do think that that would be so much better than what they did. I'm not actually sure why, but it could be because different zero latency locations may have different sizes, because Ubisoft developed Far Cry VR specifically for zero latency. So it's
hmm.
only for that location and for that VR arcade. Maybe because they are so different in different countries and different locations, they couldn't standardize it for every single location. But I would definitely like to see a game that is designed in a way that you wouldn't hit the wall because you wouldn't go there in VR anyways.
I'd
Right.
like a game where the wall is part of the effing game. So you put your hand on the
Yeah.
wall, you're
Uh,
in
Oh
the
and you
man.
wall in
can feel
VR.
it.
There's
Mm.
buttons, there's dials, there's levers, there's switches. So you're like, because I
Anthony,
think
I love that. Yeah, go on.
yeah. Well, with location-based entertainment, like for me, it's all about fidgeting with things, touching physical items, turning knobs, dials, buttons. Think of all the puzzle games that we've played in VR. the Room VR. I mean, there's millions of freaking puzzle games, right, where you're manipulating levers and stuff. But imagine if all of that was physical and you're physically switching things and turning knobs and picking things up and handing things to somebody else. And if everything was tracked, that would be so incredibly immersive.
And exactly that's what the Void was. Yeah, I
Yeah.
loved it. When I tried the Void in London and in I think it was Las Vegas, or I've been all around the world it seems. So yeah, so it's so good because the stuff that you see very often you can touch it in the walls, or even there was a robot and it was really there, you can touch it. It's the best. It's the best. And then if you can walk around and they make it so that it feels like you have this huge space, it's really the best. That is my favorite VR experience, I think. This kind of
Yeah.
location based things where you really walk through the things and the stuff that you see is actually really there.
It,
Wow. Love
it's
it.
interest it's interesting what I've noticed, even though it's not logical. So when you're in this game and you see, I could see my husband, like he was right there in 3D, but I'm so used to it not being real that I still had the urge to sometimes just run through him, you know?
Okay.
Because I
Right.
see him in 3D and I'm just used to thinking, oh,
Oh,
he's not really there. He's online
yeah.
somewhere. It's an online player, but he is there. And it would happen quite often. We would get too close to each other, and well, we didn't bump because the game had the system that when you're getting too close to another character, you actually see a circle, like this is you and this is him, and you're like you see them moving. That's how you understand that. Okay, come on, he's real. You're getting too close. Step away. So I thought it was funny that it really tricks your brain. We're already used to not believing that things we see are real. And that's why it made me think what you said, Sebastian and Anthony. If you're touching real thing, maybe it definitely would make it feel more real, and it would be more aware that you're actually interacting with these things that you're seeing in VR. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of years from now, though, when we have full body tracking that's built into the headset that is looking down at the player. You know how we have all these things now that can like basically green screen you without a green screen?
Yes.
So when we have that built into the VR headset and it's looking down, and your husband is wearing the shirt that he's wearing and the pants that he's wearing, and he's more of like a three-dimensional object that is like accurate, maybe that would alleviate that problem a little bit.
Hmm.
Could be, yeah. That's going to come probably. Yeah, there's still so much that will improve in this technology. It's still so exciting to be in it and to see how it evolves.
Hmm.
Very cool. Yeah, but running around, like really moving with your feet is pretty amazing, right?
It's so amazing. And my favorite thing, because you know that I'm actually better at running in VR, and I can run for 30, 40 minutes now, and I don't get any motion sickness.
Hmm.
But it was the most comfortable experience ever. You
Yeah.
can bring the person who has never been in VR, and that's obviously what they do. They constantly have people who are completely new to VR experience, and they not once have they. Well, yes, there have been still occasions where they would maybe some people would feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it's so natural to be there and to walk there. You don't have to fight with your stomach. You just enjoy it. You just focus on shooting, and that's one of the best things compared to just regular local VR in your home.
It's great. How expensive is it?
It's about 40, I believe it's $45 for between 30 to 45 minutes of play time. This is how
Okay.
much the games are, because that's like they have a selection of maybe up to 10 games, and each game is designed in a way that you will go through the entire experience in about 30 to 45 minutes.
Right.
I was worried about it. I was wondering, well, you're shooting, what's going to happen when the 30 minutes run out? Are we just like the game shuts down and we're
Yeah, you have to
exiting?
leave or pay
But
up.
no, but no, it is a 30 to 45-minute experience that has a
Okay.
logical conclusion depending on how fast you kill everybody.
Okay. Yeah, not bad. Okay, that's so $40 for per person.
About $45, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
not cheap. So that should be a pretty good business actually for zero latency, right? If they get a lot of people into that.
Hmm.
So no
It's basically
yeah.
laser tag, right? I
Yeah,
mean, this is
It
exactly.
is.
kind of like laser tag miniature golf. I mean, I think
Perfect.
long term we can see this in every city is going to have these centers that are going to transport you to a completely different, like this is going to be mind blowing in like 10, 15 years. It's going to be so incredible for the
Right.
people that are coming down the pipe later because like you have to travel to Disneyland or Universal Studios, and there's one of them in California and there's one of them in Florida. And it's like a lot of people just don't get to experience that. But
Mm.
we're going to have, I think we're going to have location based entertainment centers in every major city that you can go to and have some amazing experiences. And it's unfortunate that the Void basically died because it was like the wrong place at the wrong, like just really bad timing for the Void. Maybe they can get resurrected and get funded again somehow. I don't know. I mean, the whole thing went bankrupt, but I do believe in this future,
Mhm.
especially when we get way past this pandemic and it's like old news.
Hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Even my brother told me that even in Ukraine, there are places like this are opening up now, which I didn't really think that VR is popular there yet. But he actually said that he went to a VR place and it was not a room scale, but it was still like an arcade where you could rent like a 30-minute or an hour experience in VR Rift or something. Just play some games to see what it's like. I think it's great. It just shows people what an amazing technology this is and pushes this development.
Right. So in the States now, the COVID thing is gone. You can simply go to these places and everybody's happy, or how is it going?
If you're in Texas, right?
Well,
Is
yeah,
it really?
yeah. So I feel a little privileged about that because indeed, yeah, if you are fully vaccinated, you are not required to wear masks
Oh, okay.
unless there is,
Good.
yeah, they already lifted the mandate actually, unless there's a private company that just has their own. Like we went to an Apple store the other day, they required everyone to wear masks no matter
Okay.
what.
Okay.
But most places, it's still on the on the honesty basis.
Honor
Honor
system. Yeah,
system,
the
yeah.
honor system.
Ah,
Yeah,
really? Okay.
they don't really check if you're vaccinated, but
Okay.
it's just you should know what's better for you. If you're vaccinated,
Okay.
you're fine.
That
If
is
you're
always
not,
dangerous to trust the
it
people,
is.
I
It
think.
is. I wasn't sure it's a good idea. I was okay wearing masks everywhere, but if I don't have to, I mean,
Okay.
I'm honest to myself. Yeah. So that's one thing, right? I made the video about it on my channel, but I also understand that the zero latency is in all over the world, and not every country is as fortunate as the US in terms of vaccinations.
Yeah, right.
So it did, you know, make me feel like, okay, I just hope that you will get to experience it soon enough. But they still sanitize everything. They
Yeah,
have
oh,
this
yeah, they bet
huge
they
stand.
should.
Yeah, they
Obviously,
have this
right?
huge stand of all the equipment, the guns, and they all have like tags clean, 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 so that
Of
you know that
course.
they're being sanitized.
Right,
They're all,
right.
yeah, they keeping up a good job with that.
Okay. Yeah, very interesting. Like in Germany now, the beer gardens are open again, and of course I directly went, but if you go, you have to show them a test of exactly the day. So everywhere in the city, there are test centers where you can do the test for free, and then you'll get a certificate, which is good for 24 hours, and then you can go to the beer garden. So as you can
Wow.
believe, everyone goes to these test centers to get those tests, so we can go back to the beer gardens. Yep, not
The
trusting the
lines must
people.
be long.
Yeah, but we have so many of these test centers, so that's pretty
Do you
good.
know here in California, actually in Sacramento, the city that I'm in,
Yeah.
there's a restaurant that got busted for making fake vaccination cards and selling them.
What? No
They were
Yeah,
kidding.
making fake
yeah.
vaccination cards and
No.
selling them. Yeah. So
It
What?
even
there
if you
must
got a vaccination card, might not be real, bro.
Wow, that is crazy though. Unbelievable. Yeah, but it's getting better. I can feel it. Vaccination is going on, and yeah, it's good. Good. We need to get out of this shit. Yeah,
yeah.
cool. Anything more to talk
No,
about?
that's
That's it?
about it. I think I took enough of the time. It's 30 minutes done. Okay.
Yeah, and we thought we're going to make the shortest episode ever.
Yes,
Yeah, but
I
probably
can see
no.
it goes well.
Probably no. Yeah,
Yeah,
anyways.
that's it from my 2 weeks. I think I've covered the most exciting moments.
Okay, who's next, me or Anthony?
Oh yeah, let's hear from Anthony.
Perfect.
Alrighty, yeah. So for me, man, I really don't have a lot of stuff to talk about VR related. I've still been in this VR funk, I guess you could call it, where I'm just not as excited and like I used to cover. I mean, I used to like keep up with every little bit of news that would be announced about this, about that, and super excited about everything. And I've just kind of like I don't know, I've kind of slipped a little bit, so I haven't been experiencing all that much VR related. One thing I did do though is related to VRGameRankings.com, and I put a link in our Skype chat, by the way. We updated our top 200 Oculus Rift rankings, which was the last time it was updated was like really early January. So this is like a brand new update, and we completely redid the way that we rank the games. Like we're using all kinds of different metrics and information, like for our little algorithm thing, to come up with the rankings. So it's a completely new ranking. So we did that. We're pretty proud of that. We feel like it's a pretty good ranking. And let's see, what else have I done? I mean, that's pretty much it. I have been messing around with this little thing right here. I got one of these little mod mics. I
Oh, they
actually
are
got
very
this like
good.
a year ago.
Very expensive, but very good.
Yeah. I bought this a year ago, never really used it. I was like, yeah, I'm going to make all these Quest videos and I'm going to have much better audio. And I never used it. And then I finally just tried this recently, and it's unbelievable how clear and crisp this thing is.
Yes,
This
yes.
is as good as my freaking snowball.
Absolutely.
Right
This is a
Is
good
this
It's
one.
the
not
Mad
even
Mic?
better.
Is this
The
the
mod,
Mad Mic?
the mod mic,
Mod
mod
mic,
mic,
mod
and
mic.
you can
I just
magnetically.
got it.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
just got it. It's laying right there. I was going to test it probably next week. So I'm so glad that you liked it because now I'm very optimistic about it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the only thing I
Yeah.
don't know is how long the battery like
Long
can
enough.
you
Well,
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Oh, it seems those mod mic guys, they are doing a good job now sending it to all the YouTubers, because also here in Germany, like every single YouTuber I know, they got it now. So yeah. So we're going to see
Yeah,
lots of
so
content
now the
about it
thing
soon.
you have to do
I mean, you do what you gotta do. I mean, that's what they do. That's
Yeah,
how
no,
they promote. That's
if
fine.
of
That's
course,
the kind of
if I was the PR guy for this company, I would of course send it to all the YouTubers who do VR content, because it's perfect.
100%.
But it has this kind of magnet stickers. You can put them on all the headset that have a bad microphone, and boom, it is really a good product. And we were even not sponsored by them.
Yeah, and for the Oculus
Or zero
Quest though,
latency.
they changed something with the Oculus Quest now, where now you can use the built-in microphone of the
Right.
Quest if you want to
Right.
record your video. So what you want to do with the mod mic is you actually want to turn your microphone off on your Quest, so that you could have the good mod mic audio. And the beautiful thing about this too is, like, if you on your computer, if you get that mod mic audio into like Audacity or something where you separate it from everything else, then you have the control. When you're making your video, you could just make yourself quiet for a while, or
Right.
you can make the game quiet and have your sound go up. So it gives you that extra flexibility, but it is more editing and all of that.
Yeah, but that's exactly what Tetiana wanted, right? That you can like like have two different kind of audio sources.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
You
right.
said that
That's
last
right.
time, exactly. Yeah.
So you
Okay.
can do that with Quest, because I thought that Quest now records it all in one. So you'll need to connect the mic to a
You
computer.
got to mute your mic. You got to mute the mic on the Quest to avoid that. I go through like
Yes.
OBS on my computer, and
Mhm.
I record on OBS. I'm recording my camera showing me, moving around and stuff, and then it also has my mod mic audio. And then on the Quest, it's recording the game video and the game audio. And then
Right.
I sync it up later, and then you can, manipulate it whatever
Yeah.
way you want.
But for example, if you are playing a multiplayer and you want other people to hear what you're saying, you can't mute your mic. You still have to
Right.
be connecting. In that case,
Sure.
it's only one track. So I think the way I did it with our Demir video, I had a mic. I used this one to talk to you guys.
Yeah.
And then I had another mic right here recording what I'm saying. But now I can't do it because now they included it. You can't cancel it anymore. So now there's no choice for multiplayer. That's okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Good. Anything
Oh,
more?
one other thing.
Yeah.
One other thing I'll mention, if I just have a quick moment
Yeah.
here.
You have so much
is-
time.
Yeah.
All the
Well,
time you want.
one of the things that I have done in VR recently is like actually working with VR companies. I do a little bit of consultation on the side. And
Yeah,
I
I
just want
like
to
it.
throw that out there if anybody's interested, because I'm working with this one company. They have a PC VR game. It's coming to Quest, and I was just trying their Quest version. And I actually that's the first time that I've used this mod mic. I did like a private let's play that was specifically for them, for their game, to tell them, oh, I think you need to make this better. I think you need to change this song. You need to, like, this needs to work a little bit better here or there or whatever. So I like recorded this like let's play video that was like a consultation thing. And so I'm doing that on the side. So if there's any other developers that are interested out there, Sebastian, you might do this as well.
I do
Tetiana,
this
I don't
as
know if
well,
you do
yeah.
this, but it's a possibility. But like info@vrgamerankings.com is my email there.
I like it,
And
man. I like the .com. Perfect. Yeah, very cool. info@gamerankings.com. That's it?
yeah, it's just radio announcer voice. Like if you never
Yeah.
listened to the radio in America, you'd have no idea what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah, no, I know
all
what
the
you're doing.
all this goodness is
Coming
.com.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's it for you, Anthony?
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah. And
Oh.
I saw the PlayStation VR videos that we're going to be talking about later. So
Yeah, of
I'm
course. Yeah, of
looking
course.
forward to
Yeah,
that.
right. Yeah, for all the people who are listening, I also do consulting actually for companies who want to know how to use VR to optimize their processes. I'm the right person to talk to, right? You can send me an email at you can find my email down in the description of this video, but it's mixedrealitytv@gmail.com if you want to get in touch with me. And yeah, I do consult also hardware companies, and wow, yeah, unfortunately I can't talk about any of these because obviously I am under NDA, but I've seen some incredible stuff that I can talk about, and I can tell you the future of VR headsets is golden. I've seen some headsets that you will love, but I cannot talk anything more about it. I know it's cruel, but yep, it's.
I'm just glad to hear
I'm
that
excited.
it's not dying.
No,
I
no.
don't even need any details.
no.
It's good enough for me.
Oh
It's
yeah,
good
yeah.
enough for me
So
that
wow,
this industry will live.
I saw that and thought like, okay, yes, that's exactly what I want. And yeah. Anyways, that's everything I can say about that. So. Other than that, other than consulting companies, I was obviously super busy here with the Vive Pro 2 because whenever there's new hardware coming out on the market, it is crazy crunch time here at the MRTV headquarter. So I have soft launched my website, mrtv.co. You saw the Pro 2 review there first. And for all of you who have not checked out the website, go to mrtv.co. You will find all my hardware reviews there about all the headsets, about all the accessories. And I'm really happy about this website because, well, you have everything in one place. All my knowledge about hardware, about VR hardware is there. And if you have a new Quest 2, you can find all the accessories that I like. If you're going to get the Vive Pro 2, you will see my mod mics. No, not my Franken mic mods. Let's say it like this. And yeah, the FOV mod, everything's there. mrtv.co, and I got a really great feedback from the community. They seem to really love it, and I'm really happy about this. I was working on that like crazy. So then. Yeah, I was working on my video review of the Vive Pro 2. And it's out now in German and in English language. And yeah, I tried something new. It was more like an edited video, lots of different kind of cuts, not so much talking head. Normally, before my videos, it's just like this guy talking into the camera and sometimes showing off the headset. And it seems like YouTube loves more edited videos with lots of cuts and lots of different things. Zack, zack, zack. Yeah, so I was doing this thing, yeah, for once, and boom, I think I have like like 23,000 views in 2 days. Like for MRTV, that's pretty cool. And now I know how it works, baby.
Do you
Unlock the
edit them
secret of
yourself?
YouTube.
Yeah, I do edit them myself. I do, yeah. So cool. Yeah, really. I was so wondering, wow, how is it possible that, like, to get these kind of numbers, this kind of huge numbers, right? Especially for that niche. Okay, now I know people simply want to have these fast cuts and always new things. It seems like they don't want to see this head for 10 minutes talking to the camera. They want to see different kind of things. So I did that now. And oh yeah, no,
You
really.
should use your wife as the hand model for like
Yes.
the headsets and
Oh
controllers.
wow, oh wow. I would easily get several hundred thousands.
But also your video is very structured. If
Yeah, right.
people can click through the stuff they want to see, like if
They
they
can.
don't care about controllers because there's nothing to care about.
Right,
with
right.
controller, they can go somewhere else. So that helps. Like it's a no BS video.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So yeah, I do have these timestamps, and I tried something new with the editing and with the cuts, and yeah, it works. Wow, it's more work, obviously, right? But it works better. So for all the people out there who want to start a YouTube channel, do that. It will take more time, but it works. So yeah, I think this video, it will go probably to 100,000, which is really cool. So yeah, you will see more of these extremely edited videos on MRTV soon. So that was what I was working on a lot, the German and the English version of that video. Please watch it if you haven't seen my Pro 2 video. I like it. It's still quite long for the YouTube algorithm. It's 25 minutes, but there's really so much information. Basically everything that you want to know about the Pro 2 is there. And yeah, you can find it on my channel, or you can also simply go to mrtv.co and read about it. So I was very busy doing that. And yeah, I do edit my videos myself still, but I do understand that other YouTubers like outsource this, because it is quite a lot of work. Yeah, other than that, then I was playing quite a bit with the device. I tried some new games with the device. Into the Radios. It's a very cool game. Like basically, I tried some games that I got from Vive Infinity, because there's so many games which you can try and you don't have to buy them because it's in the subscription. So yeah. Wow, it's cool. It's simply cool, and I can recommend this to you. Into the Radius is a very interesting adventure game, but you have to spend quite a lot of time to get into it. Anyways, also then I tried the wireless module for the Pro 2, and that is kind of what sets the Pro 2 apart against its direct competition. In my opinion, the direct competition is the Valve Index, which is still an amazing headset, but it doesn't have the wireless adapter. This has, and yeah, it even makes you look like a little samurai if you put this on. Unfortunately, this is very pricey. This cost $350 in the US, the price of a whole Quest 2. So it is pricey. And in Europe, it's even more expensive, 400 euros. But yeah, it will give you a very nice wireless experience. So I was trying all these games which are prone to latency. If you have latency, you can play them, like Beat Saber, 11 Table Tennis, Pistol Whip, Ragnarok, all these games. I streamed that yesterday. And yeah, I was pretty excited about how well that worked. I was very surprised. And we're going to talk about this a bit later in the show when we talk about the Vive Pro 2 and what you guys think about it. And yeah, then I'm going to talk more about that good adapter, the wireless adapter. But that was basically what I was doing. It was very much about the Vive Pro 2. Again, whenever some new hardware comes out in VR, it is like super crunch time here, because the people who subscribe to this channel, they want to know, is it worth it to upgrade? I mean, it's $800, right? So it's like something very substantial. So it's a substantial amount of money that you might spend, and then people want to know, is it worth it or not? So that was what I was working on. Yeah, that was my week, and we're going to talk a bit more about the Vive Pro in a moment. Yeah, okay, cool. Then we're through with our weeks, and now we can start to talk about the content, about the topics. So I want to ask you, what do you prefer? Should we first start with the Pro 2, or should we first start with all the games? How do you feel?
I got a great idea. Why don't we do half of the games, then do the Pro 2, and then do
Okay,
another half of the
I
games?
love it. Okay, let's do it then. Let's do it. Then let's talk about all the different kind of games. But before we do that, there's one other little topic that I saw here that's also probably worth to mention. The Quest is getting a third-person spectator view for casting. I think it's pretty amazing how Oculus or how Facebook is improving the software. There's always new stuff coming up, and it's really hard to follow how fast they are improving their software. And this is one more thing. So of course you can cast right now to a Chromecast or to a Chrome tab, and that works fine. However, you only cast your first person view. And not always is this the best view for spectators to watch what's happening. So therefore now there's going to be a third-person spectator view. When you're developing this as a developer, you're going to have the function that you simply put a spectator camera wherever it's best for the people to spectate. And then later, once that it has been implemented, you can choose which kind of camera do you want to cast, to Chromecast or the tab, and then other people can simply watch that view. Pretty cool, right? What do you think about this?
Mm-hmm. You want to
It's
go first?
really cool, except for the fact that rendering this extra third-person view will have an impact on the individual game. So,
Okay,
like
yeah.
if the game is unbelievably highly optimized, like Cubism or something, it's going to work incredibly well. If it's a game that's really pushing the boundaries of what the XR2 and all of that, then this feature, I don't know, it might make your game a little bit framey.
Right, could be. But probably if it would become framey, they would just get the camera out.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but agreed. Because there's more stuff that needs to be rendered. But other than that, it's a pretty cool idea. And I really love that they just keep on improving the software. They come up with things that I even haven't thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah,
So
well,
it's pretty cool. But
yeah.
yep.
May I add something to
Yeah,
that
of course.
too?
Yes.
I didn't think about frames at first, but all I was thinking about the problem that they were solving. Because when you are playing, you don't realize how much your head is shaking
Oh,
until someone
that's a
tells
great
you,
point.
"Oh, no, I can't read anything." Me and my husband were playing the room, and in every little room there is this letter that you need to read,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Oh, la 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 la," I'm reading it. Like, no, I don't see anything. It's shaking like crazy. And then I
You're
noticed that
right.
when I was recording footage for gameplay for my channel, it's also shaking, and it's so easy to forget that the flat screen shows it so much differently than you perceive it. And that made me think that would be very interesting to include the recording of this third person view
Exactly.
if you show the gameplay, because like you said, sometimes not all games are the best to show like this, even though it's the best way to play it. Sometimes it's better to actually show the whole world, or somehow, I don't really know how they would do the cameras. Maybe they would make them with the ability to move around, or for the user
Like
to
put the camera over
rotate.
your shoulder, so
For
it's like
example.
always following you. It's
That-
like hanging
Yeah,
over
right.
there, and it's like filming what you got going on here.
That would be one way to do it, but that would be interesting to add this as a way to record it from a different perspective, because the article that you attach to it says that the users will be able to switch between the cameras.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be, you can see which one works better, because I think one of the games on PSVR, Astrobot, when you're playing from your view on the controllers, you only can see it from the third person. You can't see it from the first person when you're casting. Yeah, so it's interesting. There's a lot of room for development and ways to play with it to see what can be done.
Yeah.
I would like to see it.
I
Yeah,
really love the
Taz-
idea. Yeah.
Tasmanian in chat says, I hope that the company makes VR trailer for games. Anthony says this often. Yeah, I was actually about to bring this up very specifically because I really want to see a future. Like, imagine if every VR trailer, like, we're going to be talking about all these trailers for all these games that just came out, right? But imagine if you could be like, oh, yeah, I could watch that trailer in YouTube, or I can freaking throw on my Oculus Quest 2 and I can watch that Yuki trailer where they've got a special trailer that actually gives you a camera into the trailer, so you're viewing it from a real VR vantage point, but it won't be all motion sickness because you're like third person style, right? And I would love to see something like this, but it's going to have to be baked in, and the trailers are going to have to be designed very specifically for this. So it's going to have to be like a big thing. It's going to have to really catch on. But I think in the longer term future of VR, like if we ever get to the point where VR is actually more used than flat gaming, then this will become a thing, no question about it. But until then, I don't know that there's going to be a super incentive for it, you know?
Right. Yeah, really cool. I love the idea that you can probably stream something without the shaking, just like you guys said. And probably this will come, and I think that's great. Okay, cool. That was a short topic, and now let's start to talk about all the games that have been shown by Sony. So, one game is Fracked, and Fracked is a PSVR exclusive game. It is something like an adventure game. Let's simply look at the trailer. Let me turn off the sound, or like not make it not so loud, like this. And yeah, so I'm really excited about this game. I like the style. It looks like a cell shaded kind of style, something that we know from Borderlands. Looks beautiful in my opinion. I'm looking forward to find out about your opinions. It seems like there's lots of action going on, right? Lots of shooting, but also you have to hide behind some stuff and get cover. It seems like there are scenes, where lots of movement is involved, like skiing or like all these kind of different kind of movements, or like now what you see here right now. Like there's some cable and the player is like trailing down that cable. Yeah, so for me, I must say I am really hyped about this PlayStation exclusive called Fracked. So what are your thoughts about Fracked?
Yeah, it looks super dynamic.
Yeah.
Indeed. Like where's the trailer? Just motion, skiing, climbing, ziplining, running, all kinds of things. It's super fast. I also think that it's very nice design. Like the graphics looks different. What is it about it? It's just something about
it's the cell shading, you know. It's the cell shading, kind of like Borderlands and Crackdown a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks different. Very like
and very colorful. It looks like a very colorful world. It doesn't look so dark. It looks more like kind of inviting, I would even call it. Yeah, even though you're shooting stuff and stuff, but it's I like it.
It's intriguing, and I agree that shooters tend to be a little
dark and gritty.
Like they're dark and gray. Let's shoot with the black guns and the black colored kind of shades, and everything is quite I don't know, depressing almost. This one does make me feel like, maybe this is so dynamic, so fast, so quick. I'm getting a little bit into first-person shooters, so I might try this out, actually.
Oh, I will definitely play this. This looks so cool with all the climbing and shooting. And for the art style, it does remind me a bit of this Apex Construct for the colors. Do you remember that? It is from Fast Travel Games a couple of years ago. And there was a shooter with bow and arrow, and also for the colors, it was also this kind of beautiful style. Yeah, wow! I'm really looking forward to this. And Anthony, what are your thoughts about Fracked?
Yeah, I think it definitely looks cool when I'm watching this trailer, like the snow, like so you see the snow and you're like at some kind of installation that you're like basically infiltrating. And the thing I immediately thought of Borderlands 2 VR,
Right.
because like one of the stages that I was on pretty early in Borderlands 2 VR, you're in the snow and you're basically kind of breaking into, you're infiltrating these like compounds, basically it almost exactly the same. And so when I'm looking at this, I'm like, man, I should fire up Borderlands 2 VR again and go back to it and play it a little bit. But yeah, no, I'm a guy that I'm always about technicolor. Like I like incredibly visual, like bam, I love a lot of color. Now some people, this actually turns certain people on and it turns other people off.
Okay.
There's certain people that want extreme realism. And Tetiana was talking about like the earth tones, like the browns and the grays and the greens and 57 different shades of brown and it's just, these earthy kind of things, but they're going for the realism. And if you really want the realism, then yeah, you kind of have to go down that road, right? But when you go with this incredibly vibrant, colorful style with cell shading, the other thing is the performance factor. This is going to have to run on an OG PlayStation 4. I'm sure it's going to look a little bit better on PlayStation 4 Pro. But when you go with this cell shaded style, these VR games tend to flow a lot better and feel a lot better. So if you're okay with this kind of a art style, you're probably going to really enjoy it. And also when I was watching the whole trailer, I was like, this could definitely come to Quest. But then at the very end, it's like exclusive on PlayStation VR. So I don't know if there's a timed exclusivity or because it seems like if you make a cell shaded game, it's like, hell yeah, that could run on Quest.
It absolutely has to go to Quest, I believe. But yeah, who knows? Perhaps Sony paid for it, and it is a PlayStation exclusive. So far, it does really look like a PlayStation VR exclusive game. Interesting, right? That so far at the end of this life cycle of the PSVR, it still gets exclusive games. Cool. I'm looking forward to it. I have the PlayStation VR, actually, even two of them. And
did you guys play Phantom Covert Ops? Because In Dreams did that one as well.
Okay,
and
right.
So,
yeah.
But I don't know if they have like multiple developer teams, because like when I think of In Dreams, I think of more of a publisher, and they might have like multiple development teams. If they have a singular team, then it's like, oh, this is from the team that made Phantom Covert Ops, which that game worked pretty well.
Yeah, exactly. So they've shown they can make games. For Phantom Covert Ops, you were only in that canoe, or how do you call that thing, right?
Yeah, the kayak.
The kayak thing, exactly. And you couldn't get out. Yeah, but this one, it seems like you're skiing, you're climbing, you're doing all kind of things. So kind of you're freed out of that kayak, and now you can do all the other things that you wanted to do probably in Phantom Covert Ops. So yeah, for this game, I'm so much looking forward to it, and I'm really positive about it. And I want to ask the people who are watching this live right now, are you excited or interested in Fracked for PSVR? Please say yes. And if no, then say no. If you don't have a PSVR, then say nothing. So
Meanwhile, I'm just going to watch Anthony's cat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's somewhere around there.
Oh, yeah, she's there. Nice. Yeah, that is Fracked. And coming in summer of this year. All right. Let's see what's next here. So, now we're going to talk about... Oh, Shoujo, yes. Lars, no. Not so many people seem to have the PSVR anymore. What? Let's see. Oh, yeah. All right, we have some yes. Absolutely excited. Okay, yes. Okay. Good. Seems like majority of people who are answering right now are excited about it. Yes. Good. So the next PSVR game that was unveiled at that Sony online event is the following. Let's have a look at it now. It's called Arashi, Castles of Sin. Very interesting name. And also, let me run the trailer here. Let me also put down the volume a bit.
There is a world
So this is a ninja game. You are a ninja, and yeah, you are in a ninja world and doing ninja things. That's how.
And you got a dog.
And you got a dog, and you got a sword, and yeah, it kind of reminds me of a Shinobi game. I was playing Shinobi, I think it was in Super Nintendo times or Mega Drive times, where you're also like a samurai, but now from the first person view. Oh, look at this. You even have this shuriken. You have this shuriken that you're throwing. You do all kinds of cool stuff. And you do have that dog with you, so you're not alone.
See, I'm excited about this one.
Wow, this looks cool. This looks
I'm
really
Pretty
cool.
dark, though. It's pretty dark.
Yeah.
Even though there are no bright colors, right? I'm still
Yeah.
excited about it. This goes for more of a realism.
Yeah.
And what makes me excited about it is because this is this genre, right? Stealth combat, not run around, shoot everyone, and hide and shoot and hide and shoot. Not good at that, honestly. If I shoot, I shoot. I'm not hiding. I'm just coming straight at you. This one, the whole game looks like it's going to be based on walking unhurt, kind of like Hitman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that the same kind of thing? You can kill them in any way that you want.
Right.
There are many ways to do it. I mean, I read somewhere in the article that it's more also like a sandbox style stealth combat where you choose how you're going to assassin them. I like that.
Yeah.
I like
That's
this kind
good.
of freedom where you actually need to plan it out. You take your time. You make the best of your moves. This excites me. I'm really looking forward to this one. And there are swords.
Mm-hmm.
I like swords more than guns, just so you know. So
Okay. Wow.
this does
Okay,
get
check
me.
this out. This is the team, Endeavor One. I knew I heard of this team before, right? Endeavor One is the developer. Do you guys remember Halo Recruit on Windows Mixed Reality? Remember
Yeah.
that Halo Recruit thing?
Right.
They made that.
Okay.
These are those guys. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was never really like a big deal, but
No.
I was like, because I'm like, who is this developer? I've never heard of them before, but have they done anything else? But yeah, they've done some virtual reality stuff, so we'll see how this works.
Yeah.
I want it. I want this game.
I wanted to. It's so interesting that all these interesting games are coming out at the end of the PSVR life cycle, right? It's cool that they do this. So Arashi, what's the whole title again? Arashi Castles of Sin, first-person ninja combat, also coming to PSVR this summer. And yeah, just like Tetiana, I'm very excited about it because who doesn't want to be a ninja? And I agree. I really also love swords, especially in VR. It works so well, right? The
Yeah,
slashing
yeah.
stuff, it's great. So this
Did
is
either of you guys play Ninja Legends at all?
actually I
Ninja
didn't.
Legends
I
game?
didn't. Did you try?
Yeah, I never tried it.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Arashi Castles of Sin. That was a really interesting surprise that we didn't see coming. Seems to become a very interesting summer for us.
Oh yeah, so is it coming on in summer too?
Yeah,
Yes, it says summer
it's
2021.
exactly
All right.
coming in
Copyright for it.
coming in summer as well. Nice. All right, the next game that we're going to talk about is the following. It's called Yuki, and Yuki comes from Brazil, from the Pixel Ripped studio, and I really enjoy the Pixel Ripped titles. Yeah, bringing you back to these old Super Nintendo times, and yeah, like combining that kind of gameplay where you also play these Super Nintendo games or Game Boy games. It was very cool. But now, Yuki is something else entirely. It is like a shooting game. And let's have a look at the trailer here. Yuki gameplay trailer. Let me do full screen, also take some sound off. And here we go. So it's it's a shooter. It's a shooter that kind of reminds me of shooters like Gradius, R-Type, Parodius, but in 3D. You know these old side scrollers where you have some kind of
like a
little ship?
Sega
Yeah.
Saturn, like a
Yeah.
Sega Saturn shooter. Almost.
Exactly,
Yeah.
something like this, but now, in VR, and you see your ship is not a ship, but it's a person who's flying, and who has to shoot up all these interesting enemies, like a VR shoot 'em up. Looks very interesting, right? What do you think about this?
Well, I've heard it described as okay. So in the lab by Valve, they had that one game Zortex 26.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they kind of described it like that in one of these articles I was reading about it. And I remember when Zortex 26XX, when that first arrived and I was first playing it, and you have your ship right here and you're like, whoa, and you got all these little projectiles that are flying everywhere. And I used to think, oh my God, they're going to make a million clones that are just like 26XX. And it didn't really happen. There haven't been that many games that have done that. But this does look like it kind of has that kind of style to it. Incredibly colorful. Once again, I'm a huge fan of color. One interesting thing about this game, Yuki, though, is, okay, there's an arcade platform called Springboard VR,
Right.
which, they do these like arcade games and stuff. And this Yuki game is on Springboard VR, and it's been there forever, but it's not
that
like
one.
it's like an early version of this. So it's
Okay.
almost like Arvory was like, or Arvor, I'm guessing it's Arvory. They decided, okay, we're going to take this game that was available for VR arcades, but we're going to flesh it out, make it much more highly polished. And that's kind of what they're doing with this. So it does kind of look like that. And then the other game that it reminds me of, have you guys ever played Shooty Skies Overdrive, which is on the Quest and it's on PC VR? Oh my God, you guys haven't seen this game. Okay, so it's called Shooty Skies Overdrive. Incredibly colorful. It's one of the most colorful. I mean, you want to talk about Technicolor. You want to talk about like Candyland in real life, like just so much saccharin just coming at you. I mean, just sugar filled, right? And it's just unbelievably colorful. Millions of little particles flying everywhere. I have this on Quest. It's like $10. It's called Shooty Skies Overdrive, and it is incredibly fun. It is very simple. It's super simple, but it's very fun. And this looks to be very similar to that, but maybe a little bit more hardcore. And in Shooty Skies Overdrive, you're kind of just in one spot. You're not like moving through a world. And this one, you're moving through a world.
Yeah.
Well, I think that this game may be much better in VR when you play it than it is in the trailer.
Okay.
Because I don't know, just like we were saying, how similar it is to those older games where it's just a slider. That's how I feel about it. I feel
Okay.
like that would be a great game on my phone. I don't know if I would want to. Oh, okay, now I have 2 hours to play VR. What should I play? Oh, let me play this game where I will be just shooting all this.
But what if you got 2 minutes to play VR instead of 2 hours?
With VR, what I've noticed the most different thing compared to like even any kind of flat screen gaming is I have to schedule it. I can't just I have some extra time. It's absorbing me in it for hours. I can't just do it for a little bit. So yeah, it reminds me of the experience I've had with Puzzle Bubble. When I played it, it was so fun. I loved it. And it's that tiny, simple game where you're just shooting bubbles and you're making combos with 3 or more of the same color. It doesn't look as impressive as it just feels fun to play it in VR. So this might be it. I would have to try it. I'm not sold on it just because I don't really see the point.
Okay.
You know what's weird
I
though?
love-
Like,
I like
You're co-
story-driven games. I love when there's a story.
yeah, but I mean, there's like you're kind of opposite of me in a way from that standpoint because like I love 35-minute bursts of VR. Like I don't like putting on a headset and be like, oh, I'm gonna be in here for 3 hours. No, I like I'm gonna put on this headset, I'm gonna get a nice 35-minute burst,
Yeah.
and then I'm good, okay, after that. And that's why I like Shooty Skies Overdrive. And some of these more simplistic games, you just hop into them, you get a quick burst of fun. And if you still want to play more VR, well, there's more quick hop in burst burst of fun type games. Now there are the deeper games that have the story where it's like there's a lot of games where if you're not going to play for 2.5 hours, you're not going to get anywhere in the game. You got to spend 2.5 hours, right? And but I don't know. I kind of like these quick burst games.
Yeah, me
That makes
too.
sense. It fills the niche, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that.
Also, like for me, this looks way more interesting than Puzzle Bobble. I even didn't try Puzzle Bobble. Even I could have tried it, but it just feels, I don't know. It's too simplistic even. But this one, I do believe if they have some interesting enemies, if they bring in some humor, like even for these simple shooters, which were like scrolling from side to side, like radios or R-Type. Like there were some games. One of the games called Parodius, which was like so funny. They came up with so many funny ideas with these simple shooters that it was just a blast to play them. So if this one is not just like beautiful, it looks beautiful. I think it looks very colorful and nice. If they come up with some funny ideas, I think this could be a game that I really enjoy. Yep. So let's see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it. So
Yeah.
also Yuki going to come out in summer. Yeah, we're getting some games here in summer.
Yeah, the PlayStation VR version though I think is coming a little bit later this year, but the PC VR and Quest version are coming in the summer for Yuki, I think.
Great. Very good. So now we've talked about 3 games. Yeah, why don't we do now our hardware talk before we go to the next games? So, I want to know your opinion so far about the Vive Pro 2. I guess you haven't tried it yourself, but probably you've seen my review, you've seen other reviews, you've heard about the device before. So, what are your thoughts? And why don't we start with Tetiana? What are your thoughts about the Vive Pro 2?
Well, like you said, it's difficult to express the opinion on something you haven't tried, especially because I understand what a huge upgrade that would be for me from Quest. But it's hard to visualize it before trying it. And I think that's actually one of the problems, right? If HTC is trying to sell something that they're claiming it is so much better. Look at the FOV, look at the resolution, 2.5K per eye, 120 refresh rate, everything is amazing. And trust us, it's amazing. Just pay $1,400 or $1,300. So that would be a huge leap for some Quest owners, for example.
Nobody's gonna make it. I don't think.
And that's just what made me think that it would be a perfect purchase for someone who is upgrading from the previous version. Right?
I think that's what they're looking at, actually. Right.
And maybe that's who they were targeting, maybe.
They are.
If they already have the controllers, they already have the base station.
Exactly.
How much are you paying? $800?
$800.
$800. And then their bundle is actually $1,400. And I checked out, you can actually buy all those things separately for about $100 less than that.
Really? Oh my God. That doesn't make
can.
sense at all.
And you would think that they want to sell you a bundle and say, look, you get a little itsy bitsy discount from buying all the things separately if you buy the bundle. But it's actually a little bit pricier.
Yeah, and nobody wants those old controllers anyways, by the way.
Yeah. So you can buy the other ones, the Valve Index ones.
Of course.
They're way cheaper. A little. I think I calculated. It's in my video. It's about $100 cheaper. $100 is really not that much when you were talking about almost $1,500. But it's just a matter of principle. Why would you do that? Yeah. So that's why I think I'm a little bit biased in the wrong direction because I'm not an HTC owner, and I would not invest right now just because of too big of a leap. I understand it's going to be a fantastic quality, but I also understand that if I buy Reverb G2 or Valve Index, it would still be a huge upgrade for me right now, but for much cheaper.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, so personally, I wouldn't go for an upgrade, but if you already have HTC, go for it. You will appreciate the difference more than I would.
Yeah, if you already have like the base stations and some controllers,
Oops, we
then it
lost
makes
Oh,
sense.
oh,
Sebastian
I
for a
think we
quick
lost
second
Sebastian.
here.
Really? No,
I
I'm
thought he
still
was
here.
making
So
a very dramatic
now it is
pause.
our podcast.
No,
Welcome
actually,
we
to
are
the
I'm
going
dark.
to take over this
Welcome to the
podcast.
dark side of next dimension
no,
podcast.
actually, I'm
Let's
still
talk about
here.
how VR is going to die,
Can
everybody.
you cannot hear
Or
me?
aliens.
Yeah.
Can you see
Okay.
me?
Well, I guess as we're waiting for Sebastian to get back here, why
I'm
don't I
still
just
here.
go ahead and give my little viewpoint on this thing? So, the
I'm still
thing
here.
is, I look at this Vive Pro 2, like to me, this is what I would call this a stopgap option, which is like it's like somebody that's waiting for like a really good product that
Okay, now I'm lost. Now I lost them. Strange. Now I lost them. Okay. Damn. Let's see if we can get them back. Yeah, that is a live show. That is a live show. I have no idea. I have my full. I do have my full internet connection here. Let's see. Probably I'm going to go back to the call and see what's going on here.
sets.
Okay. Now,
Sebastian.
yeah, now I'm back. Okay, great.
Hey.
Yeah. So the last thing was that the people heard here was that you wanted to start to talk about the device, Anthony.
Yeah. So what I was going to say is basically my feeling on the Vive Pro 2, which I'm not deep into the weeds on this thing. And I deliberately did not get deep in the weeds on this thing because it doesn't appeal to me. And I happen to be in the market, like I'm literally in the market for a high-end VR headset. But this doesn't do it for me because when I look at this, I'm like, this is a stopgap option. This is an option for your rich friend that buys a 3090 the day it comes out, your rich friend that already has a G2, and so he just wants to check this out because he's addicted to having the most high-level experiences possible. And if he could get 3 extra frames from that 3090, he's going to do it. And if he can eliminate his screen door just a tiny little bit more with this Vive Pro 2, he's going to do that as well. But I consider this a stopgap option. It's not a real next generation headset. And I'm on Road to VR right now, just happened to look at the review that they got, and I'm looking at the controllers that go with it. And that just tells you right there, this is not like a prime time. This is not a Valve Index killer. This is not a G2 killer. This is a stopgap option while we wait for a legit competitor to enter the scene and deliver a lot of this technology, but also deliver controllers and deliver the entire package. What this doesn't do. Then the other thing is, if you want to go down the negative route, like if you want to start nitpicking things, especially if you go to this Road to VR article, where I think Ben Lang is extremely picky with his hardware. And he's he's not easy to please. And I kind of like that. But here's one thing that he mentioned about this headset that makes me want to run for the hills like none other. Okay, so he says, combined with the usual God rays plus additional outer glare from the new dual element lenses, and I'm gone. Okay.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I'm out because see, when I
You
got
don't
a
like
Valve
glare.
Index, yeah, glare is a problem in the first goddamn place. So if that outer glare, so this dual element lenses that's what's causing this outer glare, then I got a problem with dual element lenses. This is not for me. I don't want the glare. You got tight spot. You got your sweet spot is relatively tight. He even says that the clarity that he thought, okay, this would be the new clubhouse leader when it comes to clarity, but he says the clarity of the Reverb G2 is still better.
Yes,
And,
agreed.
you know.
Yeah. You did not
So
read
anyway.
the MRTV review, it seems.
No, because I'm out of VR. I don't watch
MRTV.co.
anything. I don't read anything. I don't watch anything.
Yeah, okay.
I'm like living in I'm under a rock. I just got,
I understand,
you pick up a rock and here I am.
Okay,
I'll
got
tell you
it.
what it's like under this rock.
Right. Yeah, so there is definitely glare. So you didn't like the glare for the Valve Index, and I believe then this is not for you as well. The glare actually is a bit less though than for the Valve Index. For the Valve Index, it's like this crazy fog of war, I call it. But here it is a bit less pronounced. But still, there is glare, and yeah, I totally agree with Ben Lang for that. Like also the clarity, it is good. It is really good. It plays in the G2 league, but it not quite reaches it. So if you come from the G2, you will not be surprised by how good it looks. But if you come from the other devices, then yes, then you will be surprised how good it looks. So it absolutely depends on where you're coming from. So do you still own the base stations, Anthony, or did you like sell them?
No, I sold the Valve Index. I had the full Valve Index package that I bought, and so I sold the entire thing. So I don't have any base stations right now. I
Okay.
still have my little clips up there where if I added a base station, I could get it up there in 5 minutes and it'd be perfectly stable and all that type of stuff. But like I was saying that, I mean, this thing to me, like I'm in the market for a brand new headset. I really want a high-end headset. I want like a Valve Index 2 or something that like takes the game to a new level, but not those controllers because I really kind of hate those controllers.
Okay.
I'm hard to please, man. But like the way I look at this headset, it's for the hardcore enthusiast that already has every other headset in
Right.
existence and also has a 3090.
Right. Yeah. Actually, for this part, you don't need a 3090. That's really a good part of this headset because it doesn't really need so much performance to still look better. I played it here on my 1080 Ti, and it looked better than other headsets because it has this high fill factor. You don't see any screen door effect anymore. You have the wider FOV. However, you do have this kind of new FOV ratio. It's not like 4:3-ish. It's more like
Yeah, that thing.
like
Okay,
like
the
like
vertical thing.
wide. It's more like
Yeah.
wide.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have
That's a
get used
bit
to
of
it.
an issue too, because like with the Valve, I remember when I first got my Valve Index and I played Audica on it, I was like, oh my God, this is heaven. I'm in heaven because
Yeah,
it
you don't
has
have
that
this.
extra
Totally
vertical
agreed.
FOV.
Yeah, right.
And there's certain games that like really use that and like make it look incredible. And so you play Audica on this, you're like, oh man, what happened to Audica?
Right. Yeah, right. So, yeah, it's interesting. I would say it's a good, solid headset, but it's not that must-have where you say like, "Oh, damn, I need to get it." It's I like to compare it with cars. So this is really not that flashy Tesla Cybertruck where you look at it and think like, what? Everything is new. I want it. This is more like that solid Ford F-150 where this gets the job done, but it's probably not going to excite you all too much. But it is a solid headset. And yep,
Sebastian, even if you have HTC Vive Pro, the previous version, you wouldn't say that it's a must upgrade.
oh yeah,
for enthusiasts?
for the people on the Vive and Vive Pro, I would say it's a good update. It's
Okay.
a really good update because you already have the base stations. You're going to have good comfort. You have like better visuals. You have a wider FOV, and what I think is pretty cool, you do have these options now. If you want, you can put the facial tracker. Right, if you're into social VR games, that is cool. That you have your facial expressions in VR in social VR applications. I do think it's cool that you have the wireless option. That's people who have the Valve Index don't have that. And boy, it does make a difference. It is really cool. So I got that yesterday. This is a loaner. I have to send it back to HTC next week. But it's great. I really enjoyed playing it wirelessly. So yesterday I did that live stream where I simply played all these games, Beat Saber and Pistol Whip and all these games. And in direct A/B comparison with the Quest 2 streaming wireless Steam VR games using virtual desktop and AirLink, this is superior because you don't have any artifacts. There was no artifacting whatsoever. You don't have color banding. It just looks the same as if you're wired. Okay, you cannot choose the high resolution settings. It's the balanced setting, which is like half resolution. but it doesn't matter so much in the games that I played. So I wouldn't want to play the simulation games where you want to see far into the distance. But for these games that I played, it looked great. There's no screen door effect because of the high fill factor of the panels. And the wireless was really good. I couldn't feel any latency, and I was free of the wire. So yeah. So for the wireless module, it's a winner. If it wasn't $400, of course I must say that. Of course, it's the cost of a Quest 2, and for most people, it will make sense just to get a Quest 2 for sure. If you don't worry about the Facebook thingy, but if you already have that, and if you have $400 spare dollars, and if your wife won't kill you for that, then go for it.
But still, that makes me want to rant about the technology is here, so we can get it wireless without severe suffer of the performance.
Yeah, it's good.
Why PlayStation 2 isn't doing that? Why do they have the cable still?
Money.
I know we talked about it a long time ago, but
Right. They
dang,
need.
like
Yes.
when it gets released, all of these superb PCVR headsets will be wireless. Only PlayStation will still have the cable. It just made me angry when I saw your video about wireless Pro 2. I'm like, dang, they're all doing it, even though it's expensive.
Yeah, right. But for the PlayStation VR 2, they cannot make it too expensive. You know, I really believe there might be some kind of wireless module add-on where you pay another $200 or $300 for the people who really want it, but the base unit, it can't be too expensive because they are in a world where there's a Quest 2. And probably at that point in time, they are going to be in a world where there's a Quest 2 Pro, which is probably as good as the PlayStation VR 2, right? So therefore, I believe it makes sense to keep the price down. And what do you think, Anthony and Tetiana? What do you think? How expensive is the PSVR going to be?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's because the PSVR 2 is a peripheral to another item.
Right.
You know, that solves it right there, right? So you got a maximum of like $399.99.
That's exactly what I think.
I think that's exactly going to be the price, and so they're going to try to fit the best tech they can into $399.99, which means wireless is not part of the equation.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, quick question, Sebastian. So, like, they were talking about how if you did use this wireless adapter, like the resolution's like chopped in half or something, but you're saying like you didn't really notice that too much. Like when you put like when you put it on, it's not this like day and night difference where it's like, oh man, I'm really slumming it in the resolution department. Oh,
absolutely not. So that's pretty cool. So the thing is, of course, I can tell the difference between the resolution during wireless play and the resolution when I'm playing like on extreme and ultra setting on my 3080 machine. That's for sure. Yeah. But because of the high fill factor, I don't see any screen effect as well. And no, it's not like that I would feel like, oh, that looks bad. Not at all.
It's not like playing a Rift game and then going to the Quest.
No. You know, when I did my wireless play yesterday, I felt like I'm looking at the quality of the Valve Index, but without screen door effect. So yeah, it's good. It is pretty good. It is really pretty good. And well, if there's somebody out there who owns the Vive headset and who wants to have wireless play and has €400 or $350.
There's about 5 of them.
No, I think there's quite a few people are going to pick this up. Enthusiasts. This is for the enthusiast market, right? Who, just like you said, who has everything, who wants the new stuff. And it works. It works better than the Oculus Quest streaming wireless. I can really reiterate it. It works amazingly well.
Well, if it costs like Oculus Quest, it better
work.
It
better. Agreed. It better works just as good as Oculus Quest. Agreed. It's a tough. It's tough to compare these two headsets because it's just so cheap, right? The Quest 2 is doing so many things right. It's unbelievable. Yeah, cool. So that is a little hardware talk. Yep. So wireless gameplay on the Pro 2. Really like it.
You know, I also read that they will be selling eye tracking modules
as
well for another $300. So it stacks up. I
Yeah,
mean,
it does.
if you want social VR, you'll have the mouth tracking.
Yeah.
How much was the mouth tracking?
That was actually pretty cheap, like 140
Okay.
or something.
Mm,
It's
a hun-
acceptable.
but they're just having this model. They're already selling you an expensive device and all the expensive add-ons, mouth tracking, eye tracking module, wireless
Yeah, right.
playing, 300 there, 300 here. I
But
just,
yeah, it's expensive. But for the enthusiast, that is pretty
mm,
cool that there is this option. You know, you have the option to have PC VR, which will give you like really like a great visual experience. You have more FOV. You can make it wireless if you want, which works really well. You can put the facial tracker to have your facial expressions. You can put the eye tracker to have people see where you look at. So yeah, actually for enthusiasts, wow, and you can even get the trackers, right, for full body tracking. Basically, that is really something that the enthusiast is going to be super hyped about.
You know,
here's,
one
here's,
thing HTC needs to be pleased about with this whole entire thing is they don't have a competitor right now. You know, I mean, they're kind of the top dog in this little category of specialized high-end VR headset. They don't have like a Samsung or somebody. And that's the question
Right.
that I have for you, Sebastian,
Yeah,
is
right.
like, okay, so we're here in the year 2021.
Hmm.
Summer has just begun. It's really hot where I am. It's going to be 95 degrees today.
Same here.
And my question is, this year is, you know, we've got half of this year left. Are we going to get a PC VR head? Are we going to get what I've been waiting for, which is like a new Samsung Odyssey or something? Like, because it's like, I feel like this Vive 2 Pro is a stopgap, because I feel like if I were to buy this and then 3 months later a real package comes out with completely brand new controllers and, you know, has all the added bonuses.
I haven't heard anything, honestly speaking. So
So
I heard something that really amazing, but that's like really far off. So I really don't see it coming right now. I haven't heard any chatter about something that would be like within the next few months. So I think
so
right
the
now,
Vive
no.
Pro 2 is basically going to be the king for the rest of this year, probably, if you want like the highest end experience.
The, I think yes. Right now, yes. So, but who knows? Probably we will get a surprise. But I have not heard any chatter about the Vive, the Index 2 coming out or something. Also, they are still selling them like friggin' hotcakes.
And,
Yeah, why would they? You know, they don't need to go down with the price. They're still being picked up at $1,000 for the complete package. And honestly, I think $1,000 for the complete package for the Valve Index is amazing. It is a great headset. It does have this glare problem, but for me, even I don't care so much about it because I play colorful games. I'm not into these dark games, like horror games or so.
But you know what's
Yeah.
funny about the glare that you just mentioned, Sebastian,
Yeah.
is I was watching your stream. Okay,
Uh-huh.
back to the day when the Valve Index arrived. I watched your stream the first time you ever tried the Valve
Right.
Index. I was
Right.
actually watching that live, and this is a rare event for me, but I was watching that live, and I remember you saw the logo for
Yeah.
like Beat Saber or
And it
something. You were
looked
like,
crazy.
"Whoa, the
Yeah, yeah, right.
glare!" You mentioned the glare, and
You're
I was
right.
like, "I remember
oh,
that."
Yeah, right. It's true. It was really terrible glare. Yeah, they need to upgrade it. For sure they will. But the question is just when. And it's still selling, yeah, like hotcakes. So we'll have to see where that goes. Yep. So that's the Vive Pro 2. I would love to know who of you out there actually bought the Vive Pro 2. Say yes if you bought the Vive Pro 2. Like I bought the Vive Pro 2. I'm going to send back that loaner unit, and hopefully my Vive Pro 2 is going to arrive pretty soon. And yeah, would simply love to know, get an idea about who is out there who actually did pay the $800 for the Vive Pro 2. Please do let us know now in the chat and simply say yes if you picked it up to get an idea how many people are out there who picked this up. So we do have a little delay here, therefore we don't directly going to see that.
I do like the
Yeah,
Aerospike's idea. Just stop buying Index. Give them a break so that they actually have the reason to come up with the next
right,
Index.
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Well,
right.
doesn't Gaben want to do his BCI thing where
He
he's
wants to.
analyzing your brain? So,
Yeah,
like,
that
if
would
they
be
want to
cool.
do that, eventually they got to have a new strap for the thing, right? Maybe what they could do is they just keep selling indexes, but all of a sudden the indexes come and they're a little bit different. You know, the back of
Hmm.
them are a little bit different. They're analyzing your brains.
Oh yeah, they will. Okay, so yeah, quite a few people did actually order it. Dippler, Juanfra Valero, and yeah, some people did get it. Okay, ordered the Focus 3. Yeah, I also ordered the Focus 3. Let's see how that. So I'm going to tell you everything about the Focus 3 here on the channel once I get it.
So
Okay.
your daily driver MRTV, I didn't
Yeah.
see your I mean Sebastian,
Yeah.
I didn't see your episode.
Yeah.
So is your daily driver this 5 Pro 2 or is it cuz dude,
It's
you were the
yeah.
G2 man.
Yeah, I
So you're
know.
basically
Oh wow,
saying G2,
the G2
I don't
is
like you no more G2. Get out
no,
of
no,
here.
no, no. The G2 actually is still an amazing headset. And you know what? Now that people directly compare the G2 against the Vive and still love the G2, it's cool for me to see that people really appreciate now what the G2 did in all kinds of things. You know, there was this shitstorm when people didn't get it, the G2, and then it
Yeah.
came out and lots of people complained about the sweet spot. But now actually they are
Yeah.
appreciating how amazing the G2 looks and how good the sweet spot is. What I always told you, the sweet spot of the G2 is actually great. You put on the headset and then you're in. Edge clarity probably this is a different topic because it's so sharp that at the edges you see a bit more if there is some degradation in sharpness, and that's normal for Fresnel lenses. But it's so enjoyable for me to see how much people actually appreciate the G2 now. I always told you that the G2 is amazing, and yeah, I'm happy to see that. So no, I still love my G2, and I would say that the G2 actually has a sharper picture if I A/B compare them. And but still, the Pro 2 does have some advantages. I really enjoy the bigger FOV. I do enjoy the lighthouse tracking that simply always works. This actually really is cool to have. And even though the Vive Pro 2 is not a must-have headset, and honestly speaking, for me, it was not love at first sight. When I first put it on, I also thought like, yeah, what's going on here with the vertical FOV? It really like this kind of this wide screen thingy. First of all, you have to get used to it. But now I'm kind of getting more fond of it, and it does have chances to become my daily driver. So right now, especially with that wireless adapter, that really is a very good argument pro the Pro 2, Vive Pro 2. So I have the feeling this could actually become my daily driver. Yeah, let's see how it goes.
Hey, I have a question. So this is kind of like MRTV pitch, right? So I want to
Yeah,
pitch something out
please
there.
do.
It's like I feel as a VR headset enthusiast, and but also having the knowledge that everybody has different geometry for their cheekbones and how their eyes are set and the
Absolutely.
size of their nose and all of the all of these things factor in the IPD and all this stuff. So the conclusion that I've come to is you really got to get these things in your own house. You got to try them out. You got to live with them for a little while. Otherwise, you just really don't know what headset is right for you. Now, the problem is, unless you're Sebastian and you're balling out of control, a lot of us can't afford to buy every little headset that comes down the pipe.
Yeah,
But
right.
what if, ladies and gentlemen, there was a subscription plan for only $199 per month? Yes, I know it sounds quite expensive at first,
It
right?
sounds
But
really expensive, man.
for only
199.
$199 a month, we will send you 3 headsets every year over 7 years. I'm trying to think of an idea though. If there was some kind of rental plan, right? What if you could pay for some kind of rental service where it's like, yeah, I'm getting,
Yeah,
it's
we
kind of
have it.
like the Viveport for headsets, right? It's like, I'm not buying that game. I got it on Viveport. So I'm not buying the Vive Pro 2. I'm renting a G2 right now. And then next week I get my Viveport 2 in to try it out. We need like a service like this almost, but it would have to be crazy expensive.
We have it.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it as a subscription. You can just rent a device to decide which one you actually want to buy. I don't need 3 headsets every month or every year. I just need one for a week and to decide whether I want to keep it. So maybe not $199 a month.
Okay,
It's
well,
like a lease. It's like you're leasing a car or something. You know?
but actually, at least in Germany, I'm not sure if it's only Germany or if it's Europe, we have it. It's called Grover, grover.com. I'm showing it right now. So I can rent the Oculus Quest 2. It's going to set me back 30 euros per month. I can rent the Reverb G2 for 40 euros. I can rent the Cosmos Elite. I can rent the Vive wireless adapter for 20 euros per month. And here, the Pro, I can rent it. I can rent the Quest, the old Quest, the Rift S. Wow, I can even rent the Sony PlayStation. I can rent all these headsets.
Is it only in Germany? What is the
I don't
name?
know. Grover.com. Grover. So I can rent these headsets, and then if I'm lucky, they're even sending me the new box and nobody else has tried it before. And then if I had it for long enough, and I've paid like probably the price of the thing plus 1 or 2 month rent, it's mine. So yeah, I think
like rent to own. Yeah.
rent to own. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good model. And this was not sponsored by Grover, by the way. But since you just mentioned it, we do have this service.
Now we are sponsored by Grover.
I wish we were, but
It should be.
but yeah, that's a pretty cool thing, right?
Yeah, we need this in the USA. Stat.
Wow. So it's
Because
my
I would
camera
like to
overheated
rent some of
again.
these
Damn. Yeah, cool. Very cool. So the service really works well. So it's interesting that you don't have that in the US.
Yeah, we should. We should. I don't actually know why. Maybe we do. Maybe we just don't know about it. Is it possible that it's something that we actually need to promote so that people know that it exists in the
Right.
US?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Does anybody know about this kind of things in the US? Please do let us know in the chat. Yes.
Yeah, or in the comments after the video, we'll probably get a comment on it.
Yeah, right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I think if you could have like, I mean, this is relatively reasonable. Like the HTC Vive Cosmos, you can rent it for 74 euros per month for 3 months. I mean, yeah, I guess it's a little pricey in a way, but I think ultimately it's probably cheaper than like buying these headsets and then being like, okay, I'm going to try it for 2 months and I'm just going to eBay it. You could do that. I mean, people do. Have you ever done that? Has anybody done that?
Like
Or you just buy it knowing you're going to eBay it?
no, I'm keeping all the headsets, obviously. Since I always have to, compare them against each other and stuff. Oh, Paradise Decay just says Grover works in the UK as well. Cool. So probably it's
Wow.
a European Union thing.
Mm,
Nice. Yeah.
I'm jealous.
This actually should really happen in the US. Probably, wow, somebody should come up with that idea and do
Well,
it.
they have some things like laptops or some kind of technology like projectors for events, but looks like it's a lot more expensive. You can rent IBM Lenovo for 1 month for $169.
Okay, wow.
No.
Right.
Yeah, I know there
Not-
was a service that would let you rent like a Magic Leap and it would let you rent like a HoloLens, but it was crazy. Like you damn near might as well bought one.
Mhm.
You know, you weren't really saving that much.
Right.
But-
Yeah, good. So, Anthony, you know what you have to set up now in the US.
Yeah, that's my new pitch.
I like it. I
So
like the
hit me
pitch.
up, venture capitalists. Hit me up.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's talk about some more games now. I think the hardware topic is over now. Let's talk about Sniper Elite. Sniper Elite VR releases on July 8th for Quest, PSVR, and Steam VR. And it is a World War II shooter. And let's have a look into the trailer here. So I'm going to start it right now. And it does look really good. So I haven't played the Sniper Elite games. Did you?
Well, it's another stealth game, right? It's another one that you'll need to hide, you'll need to be precise. but they make it
Well,
so emotional at the beginning. It's very
Mm-hmm.
emotional start.
Yeah.
I
oh, the
like
old
it.
guy looks at his hands and he's like, "Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
80 years old now. God damn it."
no, he said that we are fighting. We were fighting. Why were we fighting?
Oh
We were
yeah, for
fighting so that
you.
you don't have to, so that they didn't have to.
So you can enjoy a nice barbecue. We had to die for that shit.
And now we made a VR game so that we can actually fight. Like, hey, you didn't ask us. Maybe we wanted to try it.
Yeah.
So they did a VR game for it.
But
This
it
is the
looks
good
great
example
though.
of their realism, right? More
Wow.
earthly colors, but it looks
It
amazing.
looks really good. Really, really looks good. So I must say, I'm kind of hyped for that. I really,
Yeah, it's
really.
only a month away.
It's only a month away, and
Code Sync also helped with the development, apparently. Did you guys see that? I wonder if they were
okay.
working on the Quest version.
Yeah,
Code
perhaps.
Sync has done a lot,
They were
and somebody bought them recently. It wasn't Oculus. Maybe they should have, but some
actually it
other
is.
company.
I mean, I don't know if they bought it, but it's definitely coming for Oculus, and that made me very surprised because the game looks. I mean, it looks amazing. I
Yeah.
didn't expect it to be
But what
released
you
this
what you
month,
saw
honestly.
there was most probably not the Quest version.
No,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
definitely
no, it's
not.
not.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Okay, now this place called the Thunderful Group, they acquired CodeSync, who is
Okay.
the developer of like Shadow Point, Jurassic World Aftermath. They helped Downpour Interactive get Onward onto the Quest. So they're probably helping Rebellion get for the Quest port. So they're probably helping with the Quest port CodeSync. But it's interesting about this game here because I got to admit, Sniper Elite, like when it comes to all these sniper games, I would see, an announcement or a video about like sniper this, sniper that. And I always used to think, that's kind of fun for like a little bit, but like an entire game built around a sniper mechanism. But
But
these
it's not.
games actually do a lot more than that. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
you watch this video and it's
Right.
like, this game's going head to head with like Medal of Honor VR, basically. It's like the full entire thing, right? I mean, it has these sniper modes, but this does look like it's a lot more in depth and has a lot more going for it.
Yeah, and Paradise Decay in chat just says Sniper Elite VR could be the Medal of Honor we were expecting. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah,
Probably.
could you imagine if it's better?
Yeah, could be, right? But well, I still think that Medal of Honor is a pretty good game, and it doesn't deserve the bad reviews it got from some people. But anyways, yeah, it's up to personal taste, of course. So I'm extremely looking forward to Sniper Elite. That's a game that I'm very looking forward to play. So actually, there is quite a lot of games coming that I want to play. No, we have that ninja game. We have Fracked, right? We have Sniper Elite.
This
And
summer,
yeah,
man, there's
this
a lot of games. There's another game coming this summer. I don't know if you have the trailer for it, but after
yeah,
after
of
the fall, the
course.
new trailer.
That's what I wanted to
Yeah,
just talk about.
Oh,
So
that's coming this summer.
that's the next topic. So we got another after the fall. We got a closer look at the enemies, and let's have a look at this right now. But well, there's also lots of talking involved. But let's still have a look at it now.
The talking.
who cares?
No, I was telling, I have some friends that have another show, and I was saying, here's what you got to do. Anytime you get a trailer, you've got to edit the trailer before you ever use it in any of your VR shows. Edit out all the talking, people sitting
Okay.
at a monitor.
Yeah, here, like
talking about
now.
it.
Now this guy's
Edit
talking
that
about.
out.
Right.
But they're
Yeah.
like, I'm too lazy to do that.
Yeah, so now in that trailer we find out a bit more about the enemies. So the enemies, they're called the Snow Breed, and actually they are humans, and they took some medicine that people
vaccine,
a
guys, a
vaccine,
vaccine.
a vaccine, exactly.
Aw.
They took
Um,
the mRNA one. See, if they took the Johnson & Johnson one,
yeah,
everything
they would
would have
be
been fine.
exactly.
No snow breed. No
Right,
goddamn
right.
snow breed.
Okay, this video will be demonetized now. Thank you, Anthony.
Oh, shit.
No,
I'm sorry.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah. Anyways, we'll find out. We're finding a bit more out about those enemies, and we find out that they like to go out in hordes. So we're going to find like lots of enemies at the same time, and the different types of enemies. Some of these crazy enemy types, they even mutated to become bigger, and I am still hyped about it. But Anthony, you told me before that probably it has changed for you a bit.
Yeah, I'm a little bit less hyped, but the thing is,
Why?
I'm
Why?
the weird. Here's why: because I don't care about multiplayer. So I
What?
don't care. So the whole four-player thing. Look,
That
I
is the
know the
most
four-player
exciting
thing
about
is a
this.
dream come true for people.
Yeah, for
It's
me.
like, yeah, we're gonna play with all our buddies, and we're all gonna be
Yeah,
online, and we're gonna play, man. It's gonna be awesome. And
exactly.
I did
Is
that
that that's
back in
exactly
the
me?
days with Halo 3, but like I'm just not that guy, man. And so the thing is, like, I have a window of time to play. Let me just are you guys ever like this where it's like I have a window of time to play VR and it isn't necessarily going to correlate with gamer tag VR, my bro, so we can play at the same time. So it's like it's hard because you got to set like appointment dates up. Okay, we're all going to play after
Yeah.
the fall at 7 p.m. on Friday.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, for me, actually, that might make it better because I'm also not the biggest enthusiast of multiplayers. But if it's a horror game, like a zombie shooter,
Yeah.
crazy apocalypse kind of thing, having three extra people might make
That's
me feel
better.
better about it
Yeah.
because they'll be joking and everything will be silly and they will be like doing stupid stuff and it's just going to, relax the atmosphere. If I'm alone, I'm immersed in it. Like I'm getting immersed. Like I said, I like the story-driven games because I like being there. And if I'm there, I'm not coming back alive. So I need, multiplayer might actually make it a little more bearable, even though it's not really my type of a game. But I
Hmm.
would be willing to. I would be more likely to try it if it's a multiplayer than if it was just a
Alone.
single. Yeah,
Yeah,
no. Yep.
yeah, but Tatiana and Anthony, think about how fun it would be if we are in this world together and we simply, yeah, enjoy that adventure together. I think
yeah,
it
Steve
really,
could come aboard or
see, yeah,
Gary, right?
exactly, and it would feel it's just like
There
making
you go.
memories together. It's like going
It
on
would
a
be fun.
on a vacation
But you know
together.
the other thing that bothers me though is when you're playing with four people, it's like you're moving like I feel like when you get four people together and you're playing the same game, you move through the levels like way faster than you would have normally. You beat
Okay.
the boss faster than you would have normally. And
Uh-huh.
it's like, because I remember when I got Halo 3, this exact same shit happened to me
Mm.
during Halo 3 because it's like I had all these buddies that were like, yeah, we're all going to play Halo 3 together. And I was like, yeah, but I kind of want to play Halo 3 by myself, see how
Okay.
everything unravels at my own pace, and then I'll play with you guys later in a four-player team. But they wanted to do it right away. So we did it right away. We're like through the first level, through the second level, through the third. It would have taken me like 2 weeks to get through all
Mm.
these levels. We're like just going through the game. We're beating bosses. Now,
Got
I
it.
know the developers are going to design the game with that in mind. So if you have four people together, they make it harder. But wait a minute. There's another thing I want to say about After the Fall, like in this new video that we got.
Yeah.
It's like the other thing that has kind of disappointed me about this game, besides the four-player thing, is this is just a shooter, man. Like I'm just watching the graphics of everything, and it's just like bang, bang, shoot, shoot. Like we got to get a little. Maybe it's not showing like some of the more intricate aspects of the game, but it's like this was supposed to be the biggest game of the year for me. Like After the Fall, like this is coming out this summer, and honestly, seeing this trailer, seeing Sniper Elite VR, I'm now down for Sniper Elite VR, bro. Like more than After the
Really?
Fall. Like I really am because like yeah, I like shooting zombies as much as the next dude. And these are snow zombies. Let's make no mistake about that,
These
right? The
are snow
snow
zombies
breed.
indeed.
These are snow zombies in
White
LA.
Walker.
It's snowing in LA, you know. Yeah, these are the White Walkers. So it's like I don't know. I think like I expected more. This is the developer of Arizona Sunshine, right? And that was so many years ago. That was 2016. They've been banging on this for years, and I was hoping they would step their game up to another level, and maybe they have. Like maybe I'm judging this all wrong. They're just they want to have an arcadey kind of a trailer that shows off the action Jackson aspect of it, and maybe there's still good story and there's like some kind of puzzling things that are going on in it as well. But after a while, it's like if all you're going to do is the shooty thing, it better be damn good. It better be graphically incredible. Like when
It
this
does look
trailer
good.
was shown for, it does look good, but when they showed this for PlayStation VR on the PlayStation VR channel, at the very beginning of the trailer, it was like all footage captured on PCVR.
Okay.
And it's funny because when you see that footage, it doesn't look that impressive. And you're like, oh, wait a minute, this was captured on PCVR and the footage isn't that impressive. So do I need to lower my expectations on this game a little bit? I don't know. I'm kind of all over the map. And I'm not trying to say like After the Fall is going to be a dud. I'm not saying that at all. This could still be an incredible game. It's just I'm like,
Yeah, but you yeah, you go
It's
ahead.
a long way for Anthony to say that he doesn't want to play with us.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I also thought. But honestly, Anthony, we don't know yet. So what they mentioned in the trailer is that it's absolutely built around multiplayer, which I think is cool. So it shows that you have to revive your teammates. You have to share your ammunition. Could be like you're out of shells, and then you say, "Hey, Sebastian, I'm out of shells. I need them." And then I throw them to you, and in the last minute, you load your gun and you shoot that snow zombie. Yeah, it sounds pretty compelling to me. So I'm absolutely looking forward to that. And for me, I'm exactly looking forward to it as much as I did before. So another must-play game for me for this summer. Seems like they will take me away from the beer garden, those VR companies.
So you are busy. The first part of the summer, you'll be busy with Pro 2, and the
Yeah.
second part with all the games.
Yeah, with all the
dude,
games.
this summer is out of control.
Yeah,
Do you
really.
guys know how many games are supposed to be like? Well, there's a lot of games that are basically they just have summer as their like time frame. Like Lone Echo 2 is supposed to be
Oh.
summer.
Still, oh my god.
After the Fall is summer. Lo-Fi is supposed to come out this summer. Sniper Elite is July 8th. Green Hell's coming a little bit later, maybe not quite summer, but I mean, there's a lot of games that are banging in the summer. It's going to be pretty harsh. Like, I mean, these things all have to compete with each other.
Yeah, right. Another game that competes for that summer spot is world building game Winds and Leaves. It's going to release on PSVR July the 27th. And yeah, this is a game that Anthony wanted to talk about because you said that might interest you. So it seems like, well, you have to explore a world in this
I don't
game.
want to shoot zombies. I want to take a leaf and put it over here and create a brand new tree out of nothing. Like, it's so much more exciting, right?
Yeah.
No, but to be honest, here's the thing, guy. Oh yeah, and Larcenauts, that's coming this summer as well. Like, it is really out of control how many games are. Hussein X in chat mentioned Larcenauts and
Right.
Song in the Smoke and all the God. There's so many games this summer. But yeah, no. Going back to Winds and Leaves VR. So Trey Boucher is the developer of this game. They made Prison Boss, which I never really tripped on that game and didn't play it and wasn't interested in it. But I mean, they are a known VR developer that has done some stuff. And so now they have this game called Winds and Leaves. And when I first like saw pictures of it and everything, I was like, I wasn't really tripping on it. But on this newest trailer where they kind of break down the gameplay idea and how you're basically like, you have this like forest thing. And then if you start to leave the forest, you can only survive for a certain period of time before you get like pulled back to the forest. And so you got to create this like new forest over there.
Yeah, you
and
have
then
to
you can
expand it,
walk
yeah.
farther and now you can get to this new forest and you can survive. And you're like trying to make this like barren wasteland. You're trying to revitalize it again with plants and trees and flowers and stuff. I don't know. To me, like when I was watching this trailer, it kind of reminded me of that game Paper Beast a little bit, even though the gameplay is very different. But the vibe reminded me of Paper Beast. And it just seems like we have some people that complain like, every single game, all you're doing is killing people. Shoot, shoot, kill, bang, bang. These are all murder simulators. What is going on here? Well, here's a game that's much more chill. You know, this is chill. This is peaceful. This is tranquil. Sometimes it's nice to go into VR and actually kind of like chill out a little bit and kind of relax a little bit and have a more more, you know, calming kind of a experience. You know, like Zing the Land Beyond is a game that I would go into to kind of like chill and vibe out a little bit. And I feel like Winds and Leaves, although I will tell you this, bro, you want to talk about Quest graphics? This baby
Yeah.
got some Quest graphics. I mean, the graphics are not stunning by any stretch of the
No.
imagination. The graphics are very plain, very low poly, very violets and hues, and the colors are, it's like everything kind of blends in with each other. I think it'll look good though in a VR headset, and I would bet dollars to donuts this baby is going to come to the Quest at some point, Winds and Leaves. But it just looks like super chill and a completely different kind of vibe.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
I agree to an extent. I've been talking about this for a while now, that I appreciate shooters and they serve a very important purpose in games, but they are really overpowering other genres that are getting underappreciated, like this one. And I'm still not sure I would be a regular gamer of this particular game, but it definitely makes me, I'm intrigued. And I always get intrigued about games that are not shooters because you never know what to expect from them. It's the type of, like, these kind of games that are very difficult to actually explain what they are in the trailer. Whilst with shooters, you kind of already know, oh, here's
Yeah.
the enemy, here are my guns. I kind of already have a very good idea what I'll be doing there. Here, they're just mysterious. I want to see what they're like. So yeah, I actually have another game, suggestion if you have a trailer, unless you want to say something
Yeah,
about
I
it.
also want to say something about this one
Yeah.
first. Yeah, I really think it's a tough sell to many people because yeah, it is not something like a shooter where you know, okay, this is what's gonna happen. It's like well, it takes here this trailer takes like 4 minutes to kind somehow explain what it does, and in our short-lived yeah society where we don't have so much patience, it is
Yeah,
simply a
we have
tough
the
sell.
attention span of
Yeah,
a fruit fly,
that's
right?
that's the point. The attention span. Like I must admit, I am one of these fruit flies with the attention span. So I know to really enjoy this, probably it's super enjoyable, but it seems like I have to invest like hours and hours at a time to really get into it. That's my feeling right now. That I have to spend this long time to understand the gameplay, to really get something out of it, and I simply don't have the time. I
Mhm.
really also love my 30-minute burst of fun of shooting and then be
That is
ready,
true.
right? But for this one, oh no, I have to spend too much time. So
Yeah, because
I think
it's
yeah,
got an intricate system of like you got to combine these herbs and these
yeah,
herbs, but that's
uh,
part of its coolness though as well. For
yeah.
some
For
people,
some people,
that's
they
going
will
to be
love it.
super cool for them. Yeah.
I
No,
agree.
yeah, but RG is right. You learned Demio. That was something new.
That
It
was
took you
pretty
some time
cool.
to learn. And you love it.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. So I will not directly write it off, but I don't think it is appealing to
But
me. I'm the
but I
fracked
think
guy. I like fracked, I think.
but that's important for developers. That's a challenge for developers
Yeah,
to actually
absolutely.
create something different that would also be user friendly and very intuitive. That's kind of on them. I also don't think that it's smart to create something different and complex just for the sake of being different. If
Mhm.
nobody can learn how to play it in 15 minutes tops, nobody will play it.
Yeah, right.
So,
Agreed.
yeah.
Did you try Paper Beast, Sebastian, at all?
I did, and actually I liked it because it was so
You
imaginative.
like all the games that you say you wouldn't like.
No, 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 no. Yeah, yeah. But this, actually, I thought Paper Beast was so imaginative and different and full of creative ideas. So that part I liked it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So there's one more game that we would like to
Yeah.
talk about, and especially Tetiana said she would like to talk about it. So let's have a look at it. I'm going to show the trailer right now, and it's called Wanderer.
Wonder.
Yeah. Tell us a bit more
Yes.
about Wanderer, Tatiana.
Well, here's the thing. I don't have much to say because that's one of the games that intrigued me, and it doesn't have a very lengthy description. It says that it's kind of the game where you will get to travel to various time periods of the world, and you can be like somewhere in the present where you'll be just playing at the drum set in front of a large crew. You're playing in a band, or you can be somewhere in the middle of the war, or somewhere with the Mayas, or somewhere in the
Mhm.
Middle Ages, and solving different puzzles. And I think it's mostly a puzzle game, perhaps. but also has some elements of action.
Oh, it
and at
does
some
look good
point
though.
and at some point you'll be like driving a little car on the moon. I mean,
Wow.
how can you not be intrigued by a game where you can play drums, visit the Mayas, and ride a little car on the moon, on the surface of the moon, in the same game?
Wow, it
It
looks
sounds
it looks
fantastic.
absolutely stunning actually.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very ambitious,
And I have,
incredibly ambitious.
and I have no
Wow.
idea what exactly we'll be doing there. It looks like there are many different puzzles, but I love puzzle games, and some people aren't into it. But you can't say that it's not intriguing.
Yeah, this
Like
is
hell.
wow.
It looks pretty incredible.
It
Like
looks
this
super
game,
incredible.
honestly, yeah.
Summer.
If you watch all the trailers for this game, and if it really lives up to the, to the possibilities, like this game jumps into like the top 5 of like everything out there. Like this looks really incredible from the standpoint that you could be in like a Mayan civilization 1 minute, and then you're in like regular modern day real life, and then you're in this like dilapidated the Last of Us scene where it's like apocalypse type thing. You're in all these different things, which is a wonderful idea, by the way, because the developer is like, yeah, we want to give you a little taste of this. We want to give you a taste of being like a drummer in a famous rock band where the crowd is just cheering the hell out of you, because all of this is like this VR experience that you're going to have, right? But this developer, like, I don't know, I feel like it's unbelievably ambitious, and typically with this super ambitious stuff, I usually end up disappointed, but I'm hopeful.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued. I didn't see the trailer before the show, and Tetiana told me, "Hey, we gotta talk about this." And I'm seeing it here now for the first time, and I'm really intrigued about it. And when does it come out? Summer 21.
2020.
Oh my
Some of
goodness.
these are going to get delayed though.
Yeah,
Like Lone
okay.
Echo might slip into like September or October or something, and so some of these are probably going to get delayed.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
And
you're
it's a
right.
PlayStation VR. Is it exclusive? It
think
No,
says
it's
no?
that
PC
PlayStation VR.
VR as well.
Oh,
PC
yes.
VR as well.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
cool.
This is for your 3090s, everybody.
Okay. Wow. It does look great, really interesting. So, wow, summer 2021. Yep. So there's enough for us to play. It's not true that there is nothing out there for VR. There are going to be some cool games for sure.
I want an Aztec game by itself, though. Like whenever I'm seeing like the Aztec levels of this game, or the Mayans or whatever, I want that game. Like I want Assassin's Creed Maya time or Aztec time. That's
Yeah,
really
right.
what I'm looking.
Who knows? Yeah, probably this will come, but yeah, one part of this is now in this game. Yeah, these are actually all the topics that we want to talk about. And now we can do a little reflection, because this is the 24th episode of the Next Dimension podcast. And I'm a really big fan of that old TV series called 24, with Agent Bauer, Jack Bauer. It was also 24 episodes per season, but it was really like 1 hour per episode. And also the seasons of the Next Dimension podcast will be exactly 24 episodes every season. And yeah, we've made it. We've finished the first season. So yeah, how do you feel about this podcast? I want to ask you, the people out there who are watching this, did you enjoy the first season of the Next Dimension podcast? What do you think about this podcast? What do you think about how we do it? Do you like the topics? Do you like us or not? What are your
I hate
thoughts?
you, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. What are your thoughts about the Next Dimension podcast? Please do let us know. We would be like thrilled to now find out what are your remarks? What can we do better? What do we do good? What sucks? Tell us everything that you want to tell us, so we have a little reflection about our work here. Like establishing a new podcast from zero is not so easy, right? And I think we have done it now. We've established the Next Dimension podcast, but now we really want to know what you think.
Hey,
And-
check this out.
yeah.
I mentioned Gamertag VR earlier on the show, and he's magically appeared.
And
just
that's
like the
amazing. Hi,
Candyman.
Gamertag.
Don't
Oh,
say Candyman.
oh
3
my
times,
God,
he'll show
yeah.
up.
Gamertag has not been on here yet. He should be on here as well as a guest
Yeah, we
if
can
he
bring
wants
him
to.
on.
Exactly. Yeah, great show, says Rudel Zavetno. And Yeah, 5 stars, says Lars. And sehr gut, which means very good in German, says RG.
Okay, but wait, are they giving us 5 stars in the Apple app? Because it's really important, right?
Yeah, in the iTunes. They should give us in the
Yeah,
iTunes. Jericho,
Yeah,
you
five
guys
stars.
aced it. Yeah.
Lars
And
is giving 5 stars in the comments. That's great, but we also need it there.
right. Gaming science teacher. Hey, great to have you. Yeah, I like the rotating guest host. Gets more perspective from different people. You're right. Marcellus Wilson, congratulations. Love it. You're all great. Perfect. What else? Love you guys. Clay Bump, especially. Yeah, that sexy Sebastian. Okay, cool. I like that comment. Congrats. Yes, great group of hosts. Love the topics. Oh,
Great
bring back the
group
polls.
of hoes. No, I'm just-
Polls, yeah. And Luke is here for the Blue Hedgehog. Yes. Season 2 should be in VR. Yeah, probably a good idea. Yeah, keep it up. So, yeah, it seems like people like it. People like it. So, yeah, what are your thoughts? Tetiana, how is it to be on the show as a recurring guest?
Yeah, I really had a very little idea about how the format will work, how the podcast will work. I kind of jumped in and started winging it.
Yeah, right, it
And
did.
I really loved seeing how it has shaped over the
Okay.
course of these months, really. When did we start? How, like 24
24 weeks ago.
season to 24 weeks ago? It really has shaped into a very structured and very like a critical show that
Okay,
um,
now
we have this event.
you're back. Okay.
Oh,
You were
okay.
gone. You
So
were gone for 1 second. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah. So just long story short, not going to talk too much about it. I loved how we gained this structure and shape to the podcast and become very critical of these topics. I think it's very unique for this niche, and I absolutely love being a part of it.
Perfect. Yeah. Cool. I'm happy that you enjoy it to be here. How about you? What are your thoughts, Anthony?
Well, the first thing I want to say is, wait a minute, are we going to have a box set on DVD for the first season, signed by the crew or something?
Yeah, that would be
We
great.
need to
actually.
sell it, But yeah, no, I've enjoyed this show. Like it's fun to be a guest because I've usually been like the guy that's interviewing somebody else, you know what I
Right,
mean, or
right.
like getting people together like on VR 365 or VR Roundtable or something like that. So whenever I can just come on another show and just be, just be somebody that comments on things, oh my God, it is so wonderful compared to doing the other thing, because it's like I don't got to worry about nothing. I just show up and just like comment about things. I mean, it's great. And I think we have great topics. I like the way we're mixing in the different guests. Sebastian's done a great job actually too of bringing
Thanks.
in like
Yes.
legitimate industry people, like Guy Godin and like Six Lives and
Tommy
all
Palm.
the different guests that he's brought on. The guy that made Ancient Dungeon, Eric Tholen, all these
Right.
different people, right? And they've given a lot of a different vibe as well. And we've also, I think we've done a good job of like not worrying about stepping on somebody's toes. Like we say stuff, we
Oh
come
yeah,
out and say stuff.
we totally step on people's toes.
Yeah. And I think everybody is like, you know what? Yeah, go ahead. Like we're going to have our conversations back and forth. If you think about a bunch of dudes or, a group of people and they're having a barbecue, they're going to say things back and forth, and you're not always going to worry about everybody's little feelings about this or that. Like, let's actually have some arguments. Like it's okay. At the end of the day, everything's fine. Me and Sebastian have had some heated ass arguments, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And it's not been a big deal at all. In
No.
fact, we enjoy them. It's fun.
Totally,
Like,
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
one of the
because
best
totally agreed. And the thing is, we stay respectful, right? Even though we have totally different kind of thoughts about a topic, like the Facebook thing, for example. Yeah, we can discuss it, and it's not like because you have a different opinion, now you are my enemy. That's so sad to see in our society right now, especially in the US, right? It's like it seems like you cannot like have a discussion without hating each other, which sucks. So I'm really happy that we can do this here, that we can bring up topics that people can actually have completely different opinions about, and we're going to voice them here on the show. And we are not afraid to step on people's toes, like on Facebook's toes, in my opinion.
And
For me,
and Lars here says that we are sometimes too focused on games, which I think we talk a lot about hardware,
Oh, we do.
but we
Yeah.
talk about hardware in terms of gaming. So maybe even when you talk about hardware, we talk about how good it is to play games. So do you think that's true? Do we focus too much on gaming content? Because
Well, we
I don't
do.
know if
Yeah, I think what he's talking about, what Lars says, we are more on the consumer gaming side, not so much on business. Yeah, you can do so many things. There's so many other business applications that we never talk about. But I do believe that's all right. I think most people are
Well, you
more
can't be
interested in that.
everything to everybody.
Yeah.
If you try to be everything to everybody, you're going to come up short, you know. So you got to do what you think your strength is. We cover hardware. We bring people on that like are doing like spatial. Well, I mean, Sebastian, you do like you'll talk to people from spatial
Yeah,
and
yeah, I
stuff
do
like that.
exactly. I do these things.
Um, one thing I do think we could maybe be a little bit better at is covering more of the artistic VR stuff that isn't necessarily a game, like Gloomy Eyes, like that type of stuff. But there
Okay.
hasn't been that much of that stuff
Yeah, right.
lately. But maybe we can do a better job of kind of covering more of those kinds of things as well.
Mm,
Could be.
yeah. Well, I do try to throw in something from, my universe of VR and learning. I totally love talking to the developer of the metaverse.
Mm-hmm.
As you remember, we're talking about this kind of museum on wheel was amazing, and I totally saw potential for education and training there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but so but it's true. Like the general population is so interested in gaming that it kind of becomes the focus. But I would be open to talk about. Well, when you all are reviewing Focus 3, isn't that a
Yeah, exactly. This is
isn't
like
that
this is an
it's not even
enterprise. It's
yeah,
not
it
for
has nothing
us.
to do with gaming. So there'll be
Exactly.
some very different conversations circulating around that
Exactly.
headset. Stick
E-
around.
Exactly. That will happen soon here on the channel, the Focus 3, and looking forward to that. Yep. So overall, I'm really pleased with the first season as well. First season of the Next Dimension podcast. Of course, lots of work, like setting everything up and making it happen. But I'm really happy about how the community, reacted to this podcast. I think now people know us. I think we're getting to the point where people really enjoy this podcast and recommend it to others. I saw that on Twitter. Some people recommend us whenever somebody asks, hey, what kind of cool podcasts are there? I absolutely enjoy the crew, right? You guys are so awesome. Gary and Steve. It's really, really nice. And I like the atmosphere. It really feels like you're meeting some friends on the weekend and you talk about the topic that you're excited about. VR. I don't have that in my actual circle of friends. We talk about football, but never about VR. So it's so cool to have you and to have building these friendships even, right? And like it just feels the atmosphere on this show is so enjoyable for me,
It's the nerdy
right?
outlet for us and
Yeah,
for
it's
everyone
a
who's
nerdy
watching this.
outlet
Be a
and
nerd. Be the nerd that you are
exactly,
here.
exactly. And you know what? I think that the people feel that we have this chemistry. It works with the three of us, but also with the others, right? Whoever, with Steve and Gary, we can be together in any kind of a setup, and it always works and feels good. And this kind of atmosphere, that is what I'm very, very proud of. And then we also bring something to the table, knowledge in VR, and yeah, I'm really proud of this show. Yep, so this was season 1. If you want a season 2, don't forget to rate us on iTunes. No, really, really. I mean, we
Yeah, if we don't get 50 ratings on
at least.
iTunes, season 2 is
No,
canceled.
it's
damn it.
canceled. No, really. I mean, come on. We've been banging away now for 24 episodes. It's just 5 minutes of your time, and it really shows us, like, yes, do you appreciate this? Do you want this? Or is it just something that you can also live without? So, really, if you somehow enjoy the show, go to get your iPhone or iPod out, open the podcast app, look for the Next Dimension podcast, and give us a 5-star review, and that would really mean a lot to us.
Sebastian,
Yes.
do you
Yes.
know how sometimes when we have a guest at the end of the show, we tell our viewers to ask him any questions? If you have any questions
Yeah,
left,
right.
ask them in the comments and we answer them.
Yes.
I think that's what Leo Week means here in the chat, who writes that there could be a little more interaction somehow. Maybe
Okay.
they got to ask some questions. And I think that's a good idea. What
You're
do you
right.
think?
Yeah, I like it. I really like it.
Well, you were doing the polls for a
Yeah,
long
right.
time, and
Yeah.
that worked out pretty good.
Yeah, probably that's good to bring the polls back. And also, probably another person told me probably we can ask some questions for the next show or some or on Twitter, get some opinions out, and then people could send me a short clip about their opinion about some topic, and then I could show that here on the
Hmm.
show. You know?
Yeah. And do you announce topics beforehand at
No,
all?
not yet. Probably we could think
M-
about doing that.
Maybe that would be something like maybe a day or two before. Here are the
Yeah.
approximately what we will be talking about. Do you have any questions? Something you want us to cover?
Right. Exactly. And then
Mm.
they could even leave their short clips, their opinion clips, and then we could say, okay, these were our opinions, and now let's see what the community has to say. And then I would show these clips from, I don't know, Lars or Blamcrotch or Seacoast Live. Yeah, probably that might be a good idea for the second
One
season.
other thing, I could give a recommendation for
Yeah.
like some other types of shows that we could do is like sometimes I think if we have a week where the news is just kind of lame,
Yeah,
is like we don't even need to cover news at all. We could have like
you're
some
right.
special topic
Agreed.
that we just dive really deep into like a certain kind of topic of issues. Like what do we want to see from like what is our dream VR headset?
Love the
I know
idea.
we could talk for 3 hours
Absolutely.
about like what we think is the dream VR headset or like different aspects of VR headsets. And so I think we can maybe do some of those shows as well.
Great idea, really, like topic shows. Fantastic idea. And yeah, we could have the community even think about some topics for us and tell us what they would like us to talk about. Yeah, cool. Very cool. Yep, season one. That was season one of the Next Dimension podcast. So, probably there's going to be a little break because I want to have a little vacation with my wife, going with a caravan somehow through Germany or even in another country. So probably next week, probably no, but we'll let you know when season two starts. And of course, it also depends on how many people will rate us on iTunes.
It's all in your hands.
It's all in your hands. And also, don't forget to give this show now a thumbs up, this live stream. And Peter R says the first season has been amazing. Thank you so much. So please do rate us on iTunes. All right, that's it. That's it for season one, episode 24, the last episode of the first season. We do hope you enjoyed it. As always, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget the rating on iTunes. And we're looking forward to see you in season two. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, wow, 24. Wow, 24 episodes. Wow, that's quite a lot, right?
A long time ago.
Yeah, really. Feels really long. Like how many episodes of of the VR Roundtable did you do, Anthony?
Oh, I don't know, but I
Quite a lot,
know
right?
that like yeah, quite a bit. VR 365, like I do, you know how I would do these like little live streams and stuff. I
I
kept
know.
track of them and like it's like episode 380 or something. I'm like heading towards 400 almost, but it wasn't like a very specific show that had, you know, so I'm kind of faking the episode numbers, but it's still good nonetheless.
That's so funny. Yeah, but VR Roundtable was on for quite a while, right? A couple of years, even though,
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah, we started late 2016, I think like December of 2016, and we did it for like 2 or 3 years. But yeah, we were pretty much every Sunday.
Yeah,
Pretty
right.
much.
Yeah, quite lots of work. As we see now, right? To make this kind of podcast, it's quite a lot of work, but it's also very rewarding. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Cool. Yeah, very cool. And yeah, thanks again to all the people in the chat right now. Was amazing to have you here for these first 24 episodes, and we look forward to see you in season two. So, see you then. Bye bye.